Let's go, guys. We are here. Of course, I am FIDE Master James Canty III here with Gregory Joseph, and welcome to the Atomic Chess Championship. Greg, it's going to be explosive today. What do you think?
100%. This is an amazing variant. If you're here and you already love Atomic, welcome. If you don't know about this variant, it's one of the most combative chess variants out there. Very few draws. It's going to be a ton of fun today.
It's going to be a ton of fun, a lot of explosive and exploding things on the board. I saw it. It's very fun. I'm excited to see what happens here because we got a lot of players. We got a bracket to go through and, of course, double elimination as everyone likes. But if we take a look at that bracket there, Gregory, do you have anyone in there, Greg, that you know or that you've seen that are really strong here? Anyone to look out for on the bracket?
Absolutely. All of these players are excellent, of course. The competition in the qualifiers yesterday was extremely tough. A couple guys I would personally like to see go far here is Johan Fan. I think that he has the most interesting, varied repertoire of all these players. So I'd love to see him advance, but like all of these guys are great players.
That's amazing to see. And of course, as you know, the double elimination makes everything quite different when it comes to you having that second life. So yeah, you can win all the way through. That's cool. But at the other end, you're going to be waiting for someone, whoever that is, to try and win or take it away from you with, of course, that double elimination with the grand final reset. And as you see, guys, 8 players, double elimination bracket. All matches consist of 4 games. And the first player to 2.5 points wins the match. The time control is a 3-0, no increment. Greg, what you think about that?
I love it. I love it. Look, we probably won't have to do too much worrying about dirty flagging because kings tend to explode before then. But I love it. I think dirty flagging is great, and I'm all for it.
I'm a fan of it too as well. 3-0 is the preferred time control, of course, as nobody wants those little stupid increment seconds. We're going to flag them in any position, but of course, it's a double-edged sword as you can get flagged too as well here. So that's going to be a factor here. Some of the rules that were very insane as we wait for the game to start. I remember I was looking at the draw rule of like king can't capture. So of course, Greg, talk about that a little bit. Like the king can't capture pieces. What is this chess?
Absolutely. It's awesome. I love it. Look, there's a reason that over 2 million games among 2,000 plus players has less than a 3% draw rate. If you can just imagine a position with a king and a pawn versus a king, you don't have to worry about any theory because the pawn doesn't need to be escorted up the board. You don't have to worry about opposition. You don't have to worry about any of that. That pawn just marches forward, and eventually the king can't take it, the opposing king, because the pawn's booby trapped. So at some point, that pawn just forces herself into being a queen, and then boom, you go checkmate him. So
Yeah,
it's going to be a lot of fun.
that. I saw a situation where a unprotected bishop was checkmating a king in the corner because the king can't take anything. So any check, basically, where the king can't capture or move away, is checkmate without it being protected. So it's insane to see how this goes with some of these players here as we wait for some of these games to start here. Let me see if anyone is up and ready yet. 3 minutes is going to be very fast, obviously. So got to move quickly. So I'm curious to see how they work with the openings and stuff like that. Like, do you know any atomic chess openings? Is there
Oh yeah,
anything to look out
absolutely.
for, Greg?
Absolutely, absolutely. The bulk of theory is going to come out of one knight f3 just because it immediately threatens to end the game if the knight is allowed to, threaten f7
Oh,
and
wow.
d7. So
Knight
that's going to
F3
be, yeah,
already?
it's going to, and
What?
f6 is the main reply. So the bulk of theory comes from knight f3, f6, but which we get here. I think we have some games coming in.
We actually live on
So,
the board, boys and girls. Here we go. Wow,
mhm.
this is look,
Now
don't try this at home, man. This is oh my goodness. I don't know
I
what
love
I'm
it.
looking at right now. This is not
By
my
the
brain
by
is
the
like,
end of
what is
today,
this?
you're going to love it. By the end of today, this is your cup of tea, my man. You are a tactical genius when it comes to playing chess. So once you start to see the themes and the patterns that are very common here in Atomic, I think it's going to be right up your alley.
Yeah, I can see because the capture now it's in like a six. Oh, they can. Oh, I forgot about
Oh,
this.
we
I'm looking at arrows. I'm like, wait, I'm
they
not doing
thinking.
that.
They thinking.
I
And look at this. Oh, and what you're seeing with that pawn advanced on b5, this sort of idea is like going to be something we see a lot today. You use your pawns not just to claim space, but to prevent pieces from accessing squares because they're never on pre, right? Because if you take it, your capturing piece explodes. So you get
yeah.
to claim a lot of space. You use these pawns defensively. Black is often expanding a lot. White is trying to crack in there, but we'll see how this all plays
So
out.
wait, I could just take this and eliminate everything right now over here in this whole. Does it work like this? No,
Not
maybe it
quite.
does.
So
What
he's thinking
explodes here? Knight
just the
takes.
piece and the pieces around, but not the pawn, unless the pawn is capturing.
Oh
Don't
yeah, the
worry, it'll all
pawn.
make
Oh,
sense soon. It'll
there's
all
so
make
many
sense
rows.
soon.
That's crazy. Are they allowed
But
to
this is
memorize the good moves? Yes, they are.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There are some very
Right
fascinating
now.
opening variants that I think or that I think we are going to be seeing today as well. Some theory battles, but a lot of the stuff for white, the absolute main lines are just a bit better. So we're going to see how these players have prepared when to deviate with black to try to throw this into a more uneven game. You can throw analysis and computer evals out the window with this variant. So, ooh, I like what we're seeing here, though.
Okay, cool. We got
Oh,
other games too as well going on. We'll
keep in
check those
mind what
out
we
soon.
just saw there with check. You do not have to respond to a check in the
Oh
same way
yeah,
that you
I
do with
saw that. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy. When you get checked, like you can
You can
explode on them. Like,
Yeah,
wait, what?
exactly. So if you're threatening to detonate their king, you can ignore check because the game is over before your king is taken. So check
Yeah,
is
no,
not the
that's
same.
crazy.
There's things like that. I really like what we're seeing here for white. I think this is looking very good.
You know the arrow thing? I think if I'm playing and I know they can see my arrows, I would draw weird stuff. I
Yeah,
would be
just
like
distract them.
just drawing like,
Absolutely.
what is he looking at? It's like exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Which
Gotcha. It's part of it.
I would turn that off if I was playing. I love it. I love it as a viewer. If I was playing, I can't be distracted by my opponent's arrows.
Yeah, because I would
I
definitely distract you. G3, knight takes F3. His queen's
would
gone.
detonate
White
the knight, right?
probably better,
So
yeah.
yeah,
Didn't the
yeah.
knight and the
Now
pawn.
keep in mind the pieces aren't on pre. So like knight. So like knight G2 here, which I don't think black should play, but like yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
he just got up out of there. Understandable.
But you
Can
would
have my
be able to
pieces.
put your knight there because the king can't capture, and we're going
And
to
let's go
see
over here
ideas like
to
that.
another one. Another game here. Jake from State
hmm
Farm.
That guy is really, really good. He took the third qualifier with a 71 out of 80 score, and just he's a guy who mixes in a lot of E3 and knight f3 first. I said the bulk of the theory is with knight f3. E3 is a common second move. You can transpose these two, and there are some ideas connected why you would start with E3 first. A lot of that is getting the queen to H5. So if you can get
Okay.
queen H5 in and then queen to D5, the queen on D5 is hitting F7 and D7. And if black allows this, it's just a loss for black. So
Right.
like that's why
That's
the
funny.
Sicilian, the Caro Khan, these sorts of ideas just lose. They just lose an atomic. They're not playable.
What just happened, bro?
Yeah, cleared out. That's what
Everything
happened. We're
cleared up so fast.
are we about to get our first nice end game? This is going to be this is some really high level atomic here. Then look at this. I
And
love it.
remember, you can't take. I keep forgetting. I'm like king takes knight. Oh, you can't.
Mm,
It's illegal
mm-mm,
to take a piece
mhm, mhm.
with king takes knight.
You know, pawns become so incredibly dangerous that there could be scenarios where white considers detonating his knight to create a passer to try to force a queen on the board here. So if you're white, like you're definitely considering how to force that passer open at the cost of the knight in a way that you don't have to necessarily consider in classical. But tough to say. And you see
H4.
both
Wow.
players keeping everything away from their kings. Even still, even with so little on the board, they just try to keep that king, keep him vacant. Unlike, you don't want defenders around him because those defenders are going to explode. Yep, there's
Oh,
that knight
sword. Oh,
sacrifice.
there it is. The knight
There it is.
sacrifices to
And
create
the passer.
passer.
And I don't I think black will be able to sack the knight back. I don't see how to force it through, but I could just be wrong. Let's see. This is uh this is very well played by both sides here.
But of course, another piece that you have to talk about that we can never forget about is the clock. That is a piece as well. If you use it as
And
is
that's why we like
27
that
seconds.
no increment, baby. No
No
increment.
increment. No increment. So anything can and will happen at this
Yeah.
point. So we need to see what's going on. Oh, now the time is about even here. Jake from State Farm under
He's in the
20
think
seconds
tank.
here. No increment. You gotta move. I guess he's just trying to figure out what do I do because my knight. I'm down a knight.
So I guess one of the things is he's thinking that like the normal pawn break that you would want there with a6 is not really like the knight and the king like both converge very easily. Like, well, not the king, I guess, because you need to detonate the knight. But if he's trying to come up with complications, I don't think. Wow. Oh man.
Wait, was
What?
in
Yeah,
capturing? Wow.
he just missed that. He just that was a huge blunder. But I that's a very interesting one. I think black should be holding there, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Like after
Or
at capturing didn't explode around because you can't explode the pawn. Is that what it is?
so they would both the capturing right, the
Oh,
B
correct. They
pawn would
would both.
remain.
Right.
The B pawn
Yeah,
would
the
remain. The
pawn
B
will
and the A
remain, which I
pawns would
figured.
take off. So,
Yeah,
but then you give up
that's
your
a tough
knight
one.
and you just lock up the pawn structure and you get opposition. I would think black should be having good drawing chances there. After I say very few games end in a draw, that would have been kind of funny. But who do we got here?
We
Universal
have
Tsunami and Always Bullet.
Tsunami versus Always Bullet. So he always plays Bullet.
Tsunami is one of the highest rated players in this field, and he took the second qualifier with 238 arena points. So absolutely dangerous, both sides, white and black. He is a beast.
He plays G6 here. Like didn't even move the knight, which is
Yeah,
very. What is that about?
because though the pawns actually become very dangerous down the road as well. If black can start advancing these and just getting right up in white's face. Also, the black queen could try to stir up some mischief here soon. I don't hate this for black. Um, Very interesting. Yeah, now knight e3 maybe. Knight e3, right?
I take.
Okay, and then queen d5. Maybe not. No, no,
55.
no. That
Man, you're
maybe
just
not.
scared to make any move in this format because you're like, wait, is
Yeah.
that? Am I gonna
Yeah, yeah,
blow
does
up?
that
Like, you just
right,
don't want
right.
to get blown up, guys. It's like very he plays it too.
Oh,
93 takes
have
and
to take.
everything's
Have
blown
to
up.
take.
Like you have to. Both are
S-
gone.
Knight c6.
That's a
Okay.
crazy
Oh, a
rule.
funny one here, just because we have this
Capture.
clear d file, since we talk a little bit about theory here. You don't really see e4. Less than 5% of games start with e4. Mostly it's e3. But if you do see e4, d5, ed5 is like a natural thing we all have, having played
Right.
Scandinavians. That loses on the spot for white because you clear off both pawns and then there's queen d2 mate immediately.
Oh
So
my
on the
goodness.
so on the flip side, the Scandinavian actually just
Yo,
loses
that's
instantly. Or
crazy.
for white, if
Instantly.
you accept. Yeah.
Yeah, for white. Wow, that's
Yeah, yeah.
crazy. Because you always have to remember it explodes everything around you. That's
Hmm.
one thing I forget in this format is when you
Yep.
capture, you explode too. You're gone
Yep.
as well.
It's very interesting. Creates a lot of time.
Black wins on
Tick
time, which
tock.
of course I didn't even say. I didn't even look at the time
Yeah.
there. Always forget, guys. That's crazy how
Tick
fast you
tock.
forget.
Tick tock. You love it. Love
Okay.
to see it. For
So
fans of
both of
dirty
you.
flagging, it's part of the game.
Right. It is part of the game. I'm a fan of dirty flagging, guys. I will do it. Oh, is this atomic here? Nice.
Hmm.
Cool. All right. So we have some names from the players here. Rojito, who's on screen, is Gonzalo
Hmm.
Rojo, and then
Yep.
Knights here is Javier Benitz or
Rojito,
Knights.
even though his rating is not as high as some of these other players, he took the very first qualifier convincingly, and he had the most arena points out of anybody in any of the qualifiers with 274. The guy is an NF3 truther. You're not seeing him deviate whatsoever with the white pieces, but he doesn't need to deviate. He piles up the wins. He has a good position here. Those pawns, those hanging pawn structure is actually really dangerous here. Um, yeah, so look at that.
Oh, this would be
Love to see it
mate.
though.
He's threatening mate, huh? A little trick. Wow,
Mhm.
that's
It's
crazy.
that same
Everything
kind of the
explodes around you.
Scandinavian trick there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, we learned something there.
yeah.
Greg with the knowledge here. Oh, and this looks
These
like
guys
this would be
actually
checked, but this is not checked. It would explode.
drew their first game in what I'm seeing here. So this is actually, yeah, right up there. It's beautiful. There, we're actually going to get some very high level stuff between them, and I like white here. I like white here. I think that those pawns aren't going to, for black, aren't going to be able to stir up enough trouble before white can get those pieces in. But Black disagrees. He here comes D3. So
Yeah, D3 is coming. So
and
now what
and
is this thread about?
Queen D6. You're just. I mean, if you just
What's
put the
gonna
queen on
do?
G6, it's just game over. If the queen gets to G6, right?
Right.
No,
And snatch
is
there or
there?
there.
Yeah, it's just you'd have to
Maybe
be able to
bishop takes
detonate her
first,
somehow.
followed by.
Yeah.
That's the good word you use there is detonate. Like you got to remember, you got to be explosive here, guys.
Oh yeah.
Detonate. King
Absolutely.
here.
Absolutely. Black. Yeah, I wasn't convinced by these pawns, but now that it's up
So
there on D2, it certainly looks a lot scarier. I
yeah, but I don't
still.
see a good fight. What?
Oh, that's a nice
That's a
move because
crazy
because
move,
if you
bro.
take it,
This
you lose
is
your queen. You lose your queen if you like. There's no pawn takes. There's no knight
yeah,
takes because you lose your queen. That's a very nice
bro.
move.
This
What a
I'm
great
just saying,
resource,
this
and he
format
doesn't
is
have to.
outrageous.
But he just
Oh
checkmates.
my
The
goodness,
queen gets in,
bro.
and that's what I'm saying. Like the piece
Outrageous.
activity, black when black gets the wins, a lot of times it's due to pawns becoming too powerful. But when white wins, it's generally due to piece activity. So this was like a very nice example of how you see a lot of atomic games go and what black is trying to do to create imbalance. But yeah, that queen just got way too active, and I don't know how black could have held it too long. But
Oh
yeah,
yeah, as you mentioned, the peace activity. White was just very active. Also, the king was pretty safe, weirdly enough, here where he
strangely
was.
safe. Yeah.
Strangely safe there, as we see. Onosaurus versus Jake
Oop, time.
State
Point
Farm.
0.3 seconds for Jake State
Oh
Farm.
yeah, he
He'd
doesn't
see
have any time.
pre-moving. It don't matter.
Didn't matter. No
Oh,
increment.
no
Important to
increment.
understand.
Hey,
There is no increment. Here's a rematch from them.
I love it. I love it.
B4, nice little orangutan. Okay,
Okay.
I
Okay.
like it.
So again, like some of these E3 tricky lines that we're seeing, the thematic, and you see E6 on the board as well. You have to play something like E6 if the queen can get to H5 so that after G6, she cannot access D5. The
Is he
queen
threatening
getting
mate
to
here? No.
D5, yeah. You
Wait.
cannot let that white queen get to D5. So this is
Yeah. So
very.
what happens on take here? Everything
If you take
explodes around it.
if you're taking on E6, or well, now it's gone. So you would get the pawn and the queen if you were white taking on E6, but
Figured. Okay. You went with the F6 option. Now queens are off.
and you defend that square with a pawn. Again, it's booby trapped,
That's
so
funny.
it's
Yeah.
not on pre. It's not on pre. Everybody's on pre. Anybody who takes anybody's on pre.
As Humphrey, yeah, it's suicidal here. Atomic chess
Yeah,
is crazy. You can just go to the
get rid of
square,
that
but then
guy.
he gives himself up at the same time. It's like the
Yeah, and
square is open, but it's not open. Insane.
it's and it creates a lot of really unique and beautiful defensive resources that I think you just don't get the same degree of richness that in other variants, which all have their pluses to them as well. But Atomic is just a uniquely tactical variation. Oh man, I like the direction this has gone for Black. Actually, I still think White is happy because um, yeah, he's going to maybe less happy than I initially thought.
I'm actually going to move over to a universal tsunami here. As he's trying to clean up
Yeah,
his
is he
game.
clinch?
Actually, a draw,
Is he?
yeah, a draw clinches for him. So, which
Wow.
is a
Okay.
win zone. So we're checking to
Oh,
see
he's
if
got
he's
this in the bag.
close. Yeah,
This ain't a draw.
really
This is a
want to.
win.
It is a win.
This is just a win.
Bryce says,
Yeah.
"What in the world am I watching right now?" Well, first off, breathe. Okay, it's gonna be all right. Remember, you got to read the titles before you come in. It is the Atomic Chess Championship, so it's atomic chess. It's not your regular chess that you would legit play and
Hmm.
see because it's a different variant. It's different from your regular chess. So you're going to see some wild things today. So just breathe. You'll be okay. Right.
Did
I think did
Universal
he
already
win?
take
Is
this
this game
one?
over? I'm about to say
I
right.
think
Nothing's happening.
he's already
So I
taken
think
this one. I don't see the clocks moving, so
and yeah, I think he's already gone. And there it is. He's updated on the bracket over there. He is gone through. So let's look
oh
at
yeah. Very
Matvenko
and
there,
he's
who is Lesha 2002. Check him out.
again, he's one of the Universal's the field rated favorite. So it's nice to see him proving that. 5 card draw, that's absolutely right. When you see newer players to Atomic, you very rarely are going to get to an end game. Someone's king is getting blown up before move 20. But these guys, they know the tricks. They came prepared. It's a $2,500 cash prize pool. So they are competing for that money. They are
Dang, I'm about to
ready with
start
their
playing
A
these
game.
variants too. What?
Yeah, right.
Just giving out $2,500. I
Yeah,
like that prize pool. Okay,
you
start
love to
playing these
see it.
variants, guys.
This is very dangerous for black, but
It feels like his king is definitely weaker here on
yeah,
squares, so we have to like get to him. Rather something like maybe this or this. But
what you're
here,
talking about is also very common, where
yeah.
you sack pieces to create new attacking angles, and we're going to probably see some. I'll spare everyone the long theoretical lines for visualization purposes, but we're going to see some of that, I think, as this goes on, and people start using their total A plus material to try to take home that prize.
Okay.
Uh,
Who's move? Oh, okay. Johan here. Looking to
mhm.
find something as everything explodes. Pawn takes, I think it explodes him and the bishop. But does that allow this to be open?
Yeah, and it's a natural move to try to get the king just away from everyone, but white's crashing through. White is going to crash through, and probably black will have to hemorrhage some material just to stay in the game and try to create tricks. But
Whoa.
yeah,
Man, everything
gotta
just
he's
gone.
gonna exactly he's gonna get rid of some material, but he has counterplay now. Like the exactly, it's right now. It's I love these arrows. That's they're doing it before I can even comment. Yeah, he's gonna want to put, but white always has this defense. White has this defense. You love to see it.
We- oh
Yeah, yeah.
my
It's a
goodness.
trade, right? And actually, black is in a lot of trouble here. Just I think you have to take this trade. Um,
Whoa, what
what
a
do I know?
move.
What do
Okay.
I know?
Make you expose yourself. So maybe I move somewhere else.
Some activity though.
Maybe I mean this is possible too. What is your threat? Like what do you
What
want?
if you just yeah, push, just push here. I almost kind of want to yeah, that's a nice defensive resource as well.
Rook takes? No, my
No, it
king's
kills the bishop and the
hanging.
bishop takes the king. Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
Mhm.
Tactics.
Yeah, he has to lose his this is very
Whoa,
interesting.
what? Wait, where did
Yep,
the
yep.
how did that
White
just
suddenly this has gone
hold on,
very,
bro?
very south for him. It's gone very south. I thought that maybe actually pushing
He's gonna flag him. It
D6
doesn't
or
matter.
E6
He's
at some
gonna
point
flag.
would
Wait,
have
is he
been
gonna flag
oh,
him?
he's got 21 moves in the
Oh,
bag,
he
right?
got him.
0.1 seconds to move. He's got this. He's yeah. That is very impressive. That was very
That
nice.
is
Keeping his
2 seconds.
cool. And that was Johan, yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
this is the
Johan.
guy I think this is the guy that like everyone is very impressive, but having watched the qualifiers, this is the guy I think has excellent chances and a very varied repertoire. So it's very clear that he has very much embraced the depths that this has to offer in terms of
Well, this
all
is
of
a game to watch near for sure now, as I think that might be
look at
that his
this.
first game or his second game for
Was
Johan?
this a
Might be
D4
two.
opening? That's extremely rare.
Yeah, it looks like a Joe Bob almost, but he played Bishop
Yeah.
G5, so he completely made it
The
different. And now Queen Jar's been traded.
D4, the symmetry seems to be much easier for black in a lot of these lines, which is quite a surprise if he started with D4. But
Why is he
hmm.
giving? I guess he's gonna do the same.
Hmm. Well, you can't take that because you lose the material if you're white. But
Yeah, taking and then it blows up. I think the bishop
you
and
cover
knight
the
or
light
something
squares
too.
with B5. Yeah, this is
Taking blows yourself up. This is not a check.
yeah. I wonder if white's plan is to try to make that B pawn flinch with
Like
A4
A4.
here.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I thought the same. A4 maybe.
interesting. Yeah, one of the things here is trying to create battering rams with your pawns, which that move is about. Now he's gonna fling that H
Oh
pawn up the
man.
board.
It's going
There goes
oh
Harry.
center. There goes the center.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? You're so used to wanting that big center, but it's this strangely is a bit scary to open things up. Both kings are not feeling the safest. Yeah,
This
you
is a
got to
nice
think.
plan too.
I think so. Still, it's you want to clear out both pawns. So, like, I wonder if black would just keep it locked because if only one bishop gets in, you're only controlling that color complex. So,
Right.
white would need to be able to activate both. somehow, whether that's through the queen side or breaking through the king side for one color complex and then the king side on the other.
Somehow being able to get a4 in, but also you can't take on a5. There was a capture. There's one, 2 pawns gone.
Mhm. You
Okay.
wonder how black is going to get these pieces into the game, though. It must be on
And
his mind here. All these guys at home
anything
doing
we like
nothing.
there. Here and
The
here.
unemployment for black side is too high. We need to get these guys some jobs.
For
Got
real.
to
You
get
got to
these
do
guys some
something.
jobs. Yeah,
Develop every variant's the
come on.
same. Maybe king of the
Exactly.
hill a little bit different, but
Yeah, true.
okay, get your king out. Develop your king and king of the hill. But this one, a
Oh,
little
he
bit different.
castles. Okay.
I forgot that was a rule here. You can
Yeah,
castle, just
yeah.
different. Atomic chess makes you think everything out of the
Yeah,
blue.
and
Something really
like
different.
all
Check.
those positions where you'd want to castle quickly, all the pawns that would normally be a shield for your king are just very dangerous. So he castles after there's nothing on that second.
This is Johan making all these circles here. This
He's
is not
thinking.
me. Our circles are yellow. And the drawings
Mhm.
here, bishop b4. So he wants to eliminate some stuff on the side of the board. Maybe I do the same with this pawn, get rid of it, open up the bishop, maybe a bishop d7. But I think time's definitely the biggest thing here, one of the biggest factors, which Johan has a lot of time. Extra 3-0. So remember, no
Absolutely.
increment.
And his rook is about to get very active. So there's no way for well, actually black could go knight e7, knight c6 to stop the rook activity if he wanted, but instead he advised to lash out at the king side, which is a very good move.
Ooh, that's a
But for
nice move. I like
this,
h5. H5 was
that's
really
yeah,
strong.
just
You
yeah,
take, but you blow up.
exactly. So interesting. White has to stop that d pawn, of course, but he also wants to get his rook active, so he chooses the rook activity. Okay.
Check, take the. Oh, I blow up.
No.
Oh,
Yeah,
blow up. I
yeah.
can't do that. So pawn
Think
takes
you keep
pawn
him.
now.
Yeah.
It opens up at least.
How do you stop
I could.
this?
Oh my goodness! Right? How do you
You
stop
have to
the? And you
go
can't
bishop
take.
back, bishop f1, and then d2 is met by bishop e2. But
Yeah.
that's not great. That's not great. But yeah,
He's
he's
just
got
gonna
his
do
own.
the
He's
same.
he's got his own threats though. He's got his own
He
threats.
does. Is there a mate? Not yet. Not technically yet. This is a sudden death game, so this is actually
Oh
two
shoot.
two. And figure,
Oh
I
shoot.
thought I thought Johan already had one, so they just updated it. So this is the sudden death
Yeah.
game, boys and girls. This
Oh
game
man. Winner
sends
advances.
one
It's
to the
huge.
loser bracket.
Oh, he gets the queen. He gets the queen. It's over. Yeah.
Oh,
This
he
is.
got it and mate.
It's
Wow,
yeah. Just a little faster. That pawn on d2. I guess he didn't have to worry about that pawn getting all the way to d2. Was one square
Johan,
short.
he wins. Great
Advances.
job. He
So we got one
advances.
more.
That
We
would
got one more game
be
going.
Dennis Schneitz there,
Mhm.
who is under. There we go. Wait, wait for
Himalayan
this
Mystic
space
in chat.
bar.
I have no idea about this variant. Well, welcome, dude. It's atomic. Pieces explode. 101.
Yeah,
You're
that's
going to learn a
correct.
lot here.
Yes, this is you have to forget everything you know. Maybe not everything, but most of it. Of like
Mhm.
guys, captures don't work the same. The
Mhm.
king can't even capture. This is another sudden death game, by the way.
Mhm. For the final spot in the next round here. Well, everyone still has that second life. So everyone there you see who having lost that match, they move down to that losers bracket and they have a chance to make a run. So no one's out yet.
So I'm starting to remember as I see more games here. I'm getting more used to it. Is the
Mhm.
pawns like you capture and then you blow up? It blows up.
Mhm.
So pawns are very important, obviously in regular chess, but yeah, they're very important because they blow up a lot of things.
Maybe even more important. I don't know how you would properly evaluate pawns by like our standard semi-pawn ideas, but like because pawns don't need to be escorted up the board in the same manner, like we saw in these last few games, both sides are trying to create that passer and just jam it to that promotion square and get that queen and tilt the favor of the game right into their
It's very
easy win.
important because now, especially if you use it to take with a piece, if after I queen, you give up that piece as
hmm
well, which you generally see
Big
in
threat
regular
here
chess
by
too.
white. Big threat here by white. If that knight can scoot on over to e6 there, what's you got to play g g6 or g5? What's the it starts to get very scary. Those You know, you're looking at maybe
What's the
playing
threat from
h.
here?
So for black or for white?
For white, right. Are we threatening? We don't have a mate yet.
So
Knight takes everything
knight.
blows
So
up around
knight
here, I think,
e6.
right?
Oh, knight takes. You're right, and he just trades everything. You're right. You're right.
Oh, I was just saying, I was trying to see if you knew. Like, of course, these are
No, no, no. That's dangerous.
Atomic
No, dude, I got
is
to remember the
dangerous,
same
man.
things.
Like,
Everything you got to remember.
man, this stuff
Backwards
is
knight
just
moves, dude.
different. All right.
Backwards knight moves. You
So I
got me.
blow up here too as well. Knight takes, which is a good
Hmm.
move. You can't take with the king, guys. Kings cannot capture. Yeah, so he goes 96.
Hmm.
If knight takes, they both blow up. Maybe I want to do
Clear
that.
everywhere. Nothing
Figure
like
that
clearing
out.
out 4 minor pieces in one simple move.
Took on g4 though,
Mm.
and left the knights around the king. So this could be scary. Like this is a real check.
Yeah. In some ways, white maybe wishes that rook on a f1 was not on f1, but because you could see some ideas with, nah, you lock it up if you push that. If you push h5, you just go g5.
There's a mating idea of knight h6, king h8, and knight takes
Hmm.
f4. If pawn takes, then you go bishop e5. Check
Hmm.
there, which is a nice mate in the corner. But he can go king f8, and it's not forced. There's also a rook c7. The pieces are coming off.
Oh man, clearing out, clear out. Ooh.
I want to take this pawn, but I can't. Like
I wonder if he plays
I can't
knight
take.
back here. I wonder if he
Knight
defends by. No, he gives the rook. So he wants that. He wants to keep that attacker. He wants to keep that attacker. Very nice.
king h7 coming.
Mm-hmm. Well, king h7 would you'd knight takes h6. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you actually can't take the. I forgot. I forgot that.
Yeah,
Oh, but
yeah,
you can't take the
yeah.
knight. Dang it! What do you mean? I can't
Ooh,
take the
bishop
knight.
locking that rook in with bishop
Yeah,
g8,
what a move.
locking that rook up. You love to look at these rooks being dominated by minor pieces on the eighth. When can you
These
say
rooks
something like that?
getting dominated by these knights and also
These
bishop.
knights.
These knights and these rooks.
Yeah, on the
Okay,
eighth. All right.
so this would be bad because you give up yourself. Oh, here go this pawn again. That's so
Yeah, but I don't
annoying.
know. You just let it go. You got material, so you just let it go. You take, and then you come in, and you. This is I don't know the exact mating sequence here, but you would think that, yeah, white has got
He
this
just
one in the
resigned.
bag.
Yeah, he just
Yeah,
resigned. Got out of there.
yeah.
So who advances
No,
there? Is
he's got.
that Jake from State Farm with the advancement?
He's not just selling us insurance today. He's selling us on his chess. I like to see it.
Right. Selling explosive insurance there through Atomic Chess. Well, as we see in the bracket there, I mean, you see some people going through the winner side and people going through in the losers as well. Knocked down to the loser side. Well, as we coming up, there's just a nice bracket as we see. Of course, Lorenzo versus Hereford there, and Johan versus that's Gonzalo up there at the top. So, all right, we got more chess in the winners bracket and the losers bracket, of course, too as well. This is double elimination. It's very explosive today. This is explosive chess in the Atomic Chess Championship. So we're going to take ourselves a quick break and be right back with more action.
Do you think I was a good second? The smile.
You had your ups and downs. I think it's a second.
Yes or no?
Oh gosh. There were definite highlights. There were definite highlights. Like this, the talk, about the Rocky, and it was good.
He didn't.
You didn't think I was a good second, eh?
No, but there were massive highlights as well.
Guys, is there a napkin? I need to remove the knife which is stuck here, It's paining a bit. Do you think you underpaid me when I was just a second?
It was not me. It's Dutch Chess Federation. I was never taking care of the finances of these things, and I do think that probably Dutch Chess Federation underpaid.
But do you think I was underpaid?
He didn't think he underpaid you.
Oh my gosh.
This is good stuff.
Do you ever regret that I missed out on playing Y and Z because I was helping you as a second?
No.
I had this invitation and then.
Oh, I didn't bother me the slightest bit. You didn't get the invitation because like it was connected in some way, yeah?
Some relation, but I don't remember the exact
I was
detail.
never placed under like, shall I invite Vidit or?
Yeah, not like that, but.
No. I forgot about it actually. Okay, it was for you more impactful than for me. I didn't remember.
Did you feel that he was trying to like evade that answer or the question that he asked?
No, I don't think he was trying to evade it.
I think he was.
No, the thing is, I started remembering stuff when we started talking. I started remembering it, and I'm doubting now actually.
He did. Ask that question again.
Do you regret that I missed out on playing Vachier-Lagrave?
No, I don't regret that.
Lie.
So you do feel guilty?
No, I don't feel guilty about it at all.
He doesn't?
No.
Oh gosh.
Hi, I'm Gukesh. I'm the world champion. Who is Gukesh's coach? Right now it's Grzegorz Gajewski. We've been working for a couple of years now. Before that it was GM Vishnu from India. Who is better, Gukesh or Prag? Gukesh. Who is Gukesh currently dating? Like Vishy sir said,
who do you go out on dates with? A chessboard?
where was Gukesh born? I was born and brought up in Chennai. I still live there and yeah, I'm in love with the city. How old is Gukesh? I'm 18 years and like 7 or 8 months, I think, but yeah, a lot of people don't believe it. Did Gukesh drop out of school? Yes, I did. Like fourth. I mean, I stopped going regularly from around 4th grade, and yeah, now I'm just not going to school. So.
We've had some explosive action here at the Atomic Chess Championship. I'm FIDE Master James Kent III here with Gregory Joseph. Greg, it's been nothing but bombs everywhere, huh?
100%, man. There's just bombs falling, things exploding, kings coming off the board. A couple of 3-0 victories, got some people advancing to the second round here. We got some very nice matchups.
Well, let's take a look at those matchups, take a look at what happened through the bracket thus far. So, as we see that we have some people in the winner's bracket and people in the loser's bracket. With that double elimination, that means that you have a second life. So if you get knocked down to the loser's bracket, that's okay. You have a chance, but only one more life here to get through to make it to the winner's final. And if you win that, you get a grand final reset at the person that makes it through the winner's bracket. Now, we have games coming up. Of course, as you know, we have Liam there versus Eduardo, and then we have Gonzalo versus Johan. So any favorites in those matchups? As we have games starting, by the way.
Oh, let's get into those games. I'm gonna go with Johan versus Gonzalo, although that's a coin flip. And you gotta like what you've seen with Eduardo so far. He was the guy who won 3-0 in round 1. So see if he can maintain that heat. What do we got here?
That's important. We have some weird moves. Of course, G4, F6, Knight H6. Like, what is this guy? This is what you see in bullets. Yeah. I mean, I'm actually okay with this. Like, I like
Vachier cooking up here.
I like this in real chess, you know, G4 versus G1. Like, definitely can feel
little pressure here. Yeah, I'm about it. That's the name of the game in this variant, is getting pressure in. So Vachier cooking here.
In my Philidor chapter, I actually give a very similar setup in my Philidor chapter of Jabava London on Chessable. But so
go get it, guys. Go get it.
Exactly. This feels really very really similar, but of course the difference was atomic chess. So taking here, everything blows up. Both of these pawns are gone immediately. So it's kind of crazy. Knight b5. What?
Yeah, he wants to try opening down. He wants that light square diagonal, right? He wants a4 through the king's square, and then he's gonna try to
Oh, he
hit that
wants
with
a4.
yeah, or
Oh,
bishop.
because they
If so, like
both
if he
take,
took,
and
he
then
would get
bishop
bishop b4.
b5. Yeah,
So
he would get
yeah,
bishop
bishop
b5 and
b5.
check.
Yeah,
Wow, knight c7. That knight is vicious. Maybe you just move the king away.
yeah, but then you get detonated by
Mm.
a knight e6.
Oh, knight.
So you have to sack
Get
the
dead.
material. Yeah.
Well, you actually get blown up. Bro, are we talking
Yeah,
about chess here?
unfortunately. Yeah, normally king f7, a move that is highly desirable, here blows up. I don't know about you if you've ever played these alternate bond clouds. Everyone's into this like king e2, king e7 stuff, but king f7, king f2, don't sleep on it, these moves.
Yeah, king f7 is possible. I will get hit with some annoying moves, I believe. So,
Oh no, yeah.
whose move is it, by the way? Your queen's gone, so this is not looking good for black already.
No, it's not. He has a nice pawn wall though for now. White still needs to create leverage to get that queen into the position. Once the queen gets into the position, it will be over. So like you can imagine black is one move away from plugging. Yeah, so he has plugged all access to his side of the board with the move bishop d6. And now what he is going to do is try to create leverage for his rooks to stir up trouble against white. So, yes, white is better here, but black is not without hope. And he is immediately lashing out here to try, but the queen is slithering in. Like this is extremely difficult because she's going to get to e6. And I
And
don't
detonate.
think
That's it. And that's mate,
it's
isn't it?
not, yeah, it's nothing here for nothing
3
here.
moves.
Just like that.
Nice. That's cool
And
because
that's
I
the whole
figured
thing,
that
right?
out.
You got
Yeah.
Yeah, Black had the right idea with bishop d6, but I think he got hasty with trying to create play too quickly. He is worse there, so keeping things bottled up and trying to get the right moment was more important. So white correctly punishes. What do we got next here?
Let's take a look at this game here with Pawnosaurus versus Always Bullet.
Yeah, Benjamin. Benjamin is the Pawnosaurus. That's right.
Benjamin Cross here.
Yep.
Okay, let me see where he is actually in. I think he's in. Yeah, he's in the losers. Okay, so this is losers bracket,
That's
which
a
is a
lot of
little bit.
stuff that can come off. Yeah. White takes it. White does, and now
Okay.
Black's got some serious questions. How do you
Mhm.
so the right now white is just looking to get that rook in yep. And you have to move that c-pawn, and then the rook can just sit there and be very annoying. Although I'm not even
That
sure you
doesn't
want
work
to play
though.
that move yet.
He did
Yeah, I
play
mean
it.
that's fine. Yeah. The bishop comes in, so it is
Oh
mating.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, knight
and
takes.
Bishop.
It's
I
complicated,
thought
but it
knight
is
takes two.
winning.
Where I was like, wait, what's is knight
Yeah,
takes
yeah.
a move? But I
Oh,
guess we
like
won't
bishop.
find out.
Yeah. Like bishop
We just won't
a6,
find
knight
out.
takes bishop, but very very
Take a
nice.
look at another game here. This
Okay,
is actually these are
not not
different
not our
players.
guys,
Yeah,
not our
but
guys.
as you
But you
know,
know what?
everyone can play.
And shout out to those guys showing some love to Atomic.
You
So
know,
we like
getting
them.
some
We like
atomic
them.
in. I
Little
love you
Showtime.
guys,
They don't even know they were just broadcast to 3,000 people.
man. And look at this. I mean, rook hanging, knight hanging, queen
Everything's
moving
booby
out.
trapped. Everything's
Guess the
booby
elo
trapped.
here. Yeah, you touch anything, you die immediately, right? How it
That knight still
goes.
wants to. That knight still wants to go to c7 for white if given the chance.
I don't think it blows up
And
both
he
of
defends
these.
that idea with the knight, right? But he could also. I don't.
I saw knight d6
Wow.
here. Wait, but
Yeah.
does this? What's okay? He takes it. Oh, that's
But
what he
bishop.
wanted.
Yeah.
Wow. Jeez.
Yeah. Very nice vision.
This
Very nice
is
vision.
very nice tactic there.
And again, we have this scenario where white has this long-term win condition of getting that queen into the camp. Black needs to
Maybe 3,
stop that piece. Yep.
which is what happened
And
in the
then
last game we saw.
and then you're looking at ED, and then the queen comes in potentially. You have to take it, but you're a few steps away, right? That bishop still controls the e6 square. The queen doesn't have. Well, she could actually maybe slide over to.
Yeah, I like queen b3, take the
I do too.
bishop, and then take here, and then when everything opens up, then queen e6 and queen c8 mate. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Like some
yeah.
type of
I like that a
tactic
lot.
here. Very nice plan.
Let's see what Johan comes up with. he's also, I mean, sitting there with his 2450 rating, like, which is just an insane rating for this variant.
Yeah, he does. He does take the bishop first.
I think
Queen
that he sees what
d3,
you
maybe
see. I
just
think
queen
this is
d4.
honestly, well, f5, right? F5, but then you get through on the
Oh
dark squares,
yeah,
maybe. You might be trying to pivot there,
that's true.
but then
Queen
but
g
you even go like queen h4. You have g5, maybe.
and queen
No,
d8.
because then queen, yeah.
Here we
But
go. Queen d4 check.
okay, that's not going to be enough. That's not going to be enough for black.
Yeah, he's drawn arrows. He saw it. He said queen g4, queen
Yeah,
h4.
that's not going to be enough. White's queen is going to get in there. I think we're going to be seeing a decisive result. There's plenty of time for Johan here. I
Yeah, I believe
think
the same. We
Gonzalo
move
is in
on.
some trouble.
Let's what should be a 2-0 for Fan there. 2-0. Let's go back over here to Scheitz. Or Schneitz versus Leisha. Right here. He's in his last name, Benit. Okay, so he needs to win. He actually lost his last game here. Schneitz did.
I was just slightly distracted by the funny people in chat here. Shout out to all of you hanging out with us.
Atomic Chess.
Love to see it.
Explosive. It's the explosive day. Okay, so a lot of pawn tension over here. Take one, the other explodes.
That C and B files are where we're going to be getting the action. I don't think black's actually going to be able to do anything, even if the G and H files open up. So I suspect that the decisive action is going to come on the queen side here. But black might disagree. That's where he might be trying to break through. He's actually pivoting. I think he might be feeling the same way. I don't mind how this is trending for white at all.
I open up the file
and
at
the rook.
least. The rook,
I don't know how
right?
you stop that because if you take that C pawn is going to be, that C pawn is just going to have to go. He just has to go. He's too strong.
Shout out to Gregory for keeping Canty honest on the rules. Yes, thank you. Right. Absolutely.
Well, we both are going to get ourselves blown up. We're both going to get ourselves blown up. Like it's what it is. What it is in this variant. But I like what white is cooking up here. I think that. Well,
oh, you can't take. I was like, bro, take the wait. That's illegal.
Yeah. Ooh, that king's got to step back. Those pawns are very strong. Can black get some kind of mating net?
Yeah, no time.
No time.
Very important.
Yeah. Do we have an Eduardo game live right now? Love to check in on him.
Eduardo, that would be Universal Tsunami.
You got it.
Don't see him yet. Don't see him currently. We are waiting to see. He may have won already.
He's been doing a lot of that. He did a lot of that yesterday. He's doing a lot of that today.
Or maybe they're rematching. I'm just gonna check. Oh no. Wait, is this the game? Yeah, it's still going. Okay, here we go.
Okay. Jake is not letting anything go easy, though. He is going to not go quietly into the night. White's pawn, though, like these pawns, I don't see. It's kind of over, yeah? Seems pretty straightforward.
Correct. And what's the score on there? Let me see. Jake, State Farm is, that'll be a two-piece for
our friendly atomic agent.
Man, Jake from State Farm will be a 2-0 here. He's trying to 2-0. Universal Tsunami, who's the higher rated.
Wow. Yeah, and came in as one of wow. Bringing down the rating favorite, but
absolutely.
And that just goes to show. Yeah, that just goes to show that all these players, they can all say that they have a chance to win this first prize, 750. So,
and we are going to
2 nights. Yeah,
this game again from them, as this is a must-win situation.
We might see a knight land on b5 anyways against there it is. The knight goes to b5 anyways because it's coming to c7, and this is just incredibly unpleasant for black to deal with. You see a lot of these 2 knight openings. You are going to see a knight sacrifice itself by or try to sacrifice itself via b5. c6 does not actually prevent the knight from coming into the position. You take the material if you're black and you try to survive. but it is going. Black is on his back foot here for sure. Universal's got exactly the kind of position that they need to try to stay in this match.
So it's actually more like a bug house is the same way, which I am a big fan of bug house, aka
Mhm.
double chess, where that is a common sacrifice on f7 or f2. And you obviously look for your partner to give you a knight or pawn to bring the king out further, and you drop it on the squares accordingly, corresponding to get that initiative on the king. Shout out to Chuck
Bughouse is
Malton in
another
the
great
chat. There he
piece,
is,
man.
Bughouse.
Yay,
Nice.
there he is, Chuck.
All he's screaming is Bughouse. I don't even know if
You
he
love
know
to
how
see
to
it.
play regular chess. He only played Bughouse.
What's up, Chuck? Oh man, I like what Universal's cooking up here. I think Eduardo is going to get on the board, and he's bringing out some of the A+ material here. So well, you never know. You never know. Jake's down on the clock. He's in the think tank. It's super unpleasant to try to play this. I'm not even really sure where you can try to imagine getting some counterplay here. You see anywhere Black can try to get counterplay?
Yeah, I was actually looking. I was looking at White because I like White's position more.
Yeah, White's
But
everything looks good
I
for
love
White. I
love
love
White's
White's
position.
position here.
But from Black's position,
Yeah.
great question. That would be, yeah, all my pieces are gross. I have all these
Yeah.
pieces back here. So this is the
Yeah.
problem. I can't develop anything. So I want to get close to the
Nothing.
king. I didn't even consider this because it just doesn't look like a real move ever.
It doesn't,
It's
and I
just
don't
hard to
think it
play this.
is. It
Man, he
doesn't, and
does
even
take.
in
He
this, I
opens
don't
this
think
up
it
too.
is. Yeah. I don't think this game is gonna be surviving too much longer here. But Black says, I'm gonna get counterplay. He says, I'm gonna open things up maybe, and I don't see it. To be honest with you, I'm just spinning your wheels. I
He
think
might
White's
be
got
going
this
like
one in the
queen
bag.
e7. Yeah, same. It
Yeah,
does look like that.
yeah. But you always have
Takes.
this move knight e6, yeah? Queen e7, knight e6,
Castle
and
with a check. Hold on.
but knight e6. Yeah.
Oh, 96 played. Ooh,
Yeah, it's over.
resignation.
Like that's what I'm saying.
Dang.
Like you can imagine the what Black wanted to go for, but 96 is just always there. And just toast.
Universal Tsunami with a much needed win, a must win in a way.
Oh, I'm seeing some
Is anyone
results
else?
already, huh?
Dang, exactly.
Okay.
Cross made it through. Who is that? That is Ponosaurus has made it through already.
Oh yeah.
He was in a losers bracket. Matvienko as well, I think, is in the losers bracket who made it through. He did advance, so it's going to be
Johan,
those two.
Mm-hmm.
And then now we're waiting on. Let's go take a look. Oh, Fan made it too. Yeah, Johan made
Yeah,
it
he
through.
did. He's looking good.
Nice, looking good.
I'm a huge fan of Johan's Atomic. I think if there's a player in this field I would recommend like looking at if you wanted to see how really strong players play Atomic, I would definitely check out his games. I think they're just high quality with both colors, both from a theoretical and an experimental standpoint. He's probably my favorite player to watch from this grouping. But obviously, a lot of chess to play. I'm not saying okay. I did say I had a favorite, so I kind of caught myself there. Whoops. We don't have favorites as commentators. We like everybody. You didn't hear
we
that.
like everyone. Exactly, we do. We like everyone. But here we go with the next game here. This is Jake from State Farm versus
Offering discounts.
Universal Tsunami here. Okay. 2-1.
A lot of stuff hanging out by that king. Kind of a unique approach here. Kind of feels like, it's funny. White could detonate for 3 minors, and like that'd be really interesting in classical chess, where queen takes knight, and you get equivalent material in a really dynamic imbalance. But the queen is exceptionally powerful in this variant, where if she just can get past the pawn shields, she just mates by landing next to the king. So
That's true. Like something like this. Maybe you see, I don't know, G4, H4. I mean, this is something I play in regular chess all the time,
yeah,
almost every game with White. So definitely got to
right
throw
up
it
your
in there.
alley.
Maybe G4, G5. It should be
Yeah, you
2
just want to pry
possible.
open those lines. You just want to pry,
Right.
but if you're Black, you're thinking about every time you're trying to just push those pawns and keep it locked up. So how do you create a situation? Well, you might have to sack a piece, but
Dang. Man,
yep.
this is everything gone. That was 4
I
pieces.
really like this for White. You can play either A4 or H4 in this position and get a very nice movement going. Exactly. Like I think White could sit on this position pretty easily if they wanted to. They have a lot of tempting pawn moves, a lot of tempting plans. So we'll see what Jake picks among all of the tempting plans. And what do you do if you're black? You'd love to be able to like bring that queen out to a5, but b4, and it doesn't really matter.
Oh yeah, before and you explode there. So takes.
Mhm.
Take with.
It wouldn't be any
Wait a
good.
second. Hold on.
She has to move.
I can't take
This
that. I
is
gotta
nice.
move where?
Yeah, you got. You can go to quick. You can go to c7.
Oh yeah, but
You,
bishop
queen
takes
c7.
explodes, right, and then everything
Yeah, so
explodes.
it'd be a queen trade then. It'd be a queen trade. But obviously, it'd be a blunder to take with the bishop.
Would the same be queen b8 as well?
Bishop takes and the queen doesn't explode
Oh,
there.
it doesn't
It's out of
explode there.
range.
Yeah, so that's to be
She's safe.
c7.
She's out of the
Whoa!
blast radius. Oh, okay. That's a lot of material. Like, that was a big material threat. Bishop takes e7 was threatening to take a lot of stuff off the board.
And there it is.
But
All gone with
yeah,
the
I like
material
this.
imbalance.
I like
Ooh,
this a
that
lot
was
for white.
nice. That was
Yeah, the
sick.
queen,
Jake from
but you
State
see,
Farm.
this is nice. Now we see the concept white needs to do here is create a box around the king so that queen can't get in. And that's it. That's the whole game here. If black can crack the box, they can win. If black cannot crack the box, white's rooks and pawns will tell. That is the whole dynamic here.
And this is a blunder because queen takes e3 would explode.
The queen. And then you have a rook and it's easy. I mean,
Right.
honestly, you just... So bishop, yep. Bishop d3.
So now I just
again,
push the
keep
pawns or
keep her
something?
walled out. At some point, exactly. You're going to be playing the A and B pawns. You're going to get another... I mean, he's just playing direct. He is playing with fire with this, but it's correct. I love to see. I would have gone with the A and B pawns, but this is even more straightforward. And black is
And he
desperately
has
trying
time
to
too as
open the
well.
position up. Pawn takes
Jake
pawn
from
though,
State
and you just
Farm up so
maintain.
much time.
Oh wow, he actually creates... So yeah, because he just sees that this is too fast. No way for the queen to get in.
There it
Yeah,
is. Jake from
that's very
State
nicely
Farm.
done.
Went from selling insurance to blowing up boards. Look at him.
Man, Liam is just out here to play. He just came. Those moves kept coming too. A minute up on the clock in that one too. Really looking sharp.
That is fire, man. Wow. Here we go with the bracket. As we see who made it through in the next one. It'll be Johan Fan versus Liam Hereford there. And of course, in the losers bracket, Gonzalo versus Benjamin and Eduardo versus Alexi. Wow, man, explosive chess today. Of course, it's been nice because it's the Atomic Chess Championship. We have more action, more games, of course, with both brackets, the winners and the losers bracket, to go through to see who's going to be in the grand final and will it be a reset. But more action right after this break.
Don't go anywhere.
My name is Fabiano Caruana and this is Google Autocomplete. What is Fabiano Caruana's favorite chess opening? Oh, I'll have to say the Archangel variation of the Ruy Lopez, which I made a video course on, and it's always been a favorite since I was a child. What does Fabiano Caruana do with C-squared? That's the podcast that I co-host along with Grandmaster Christian Kirilla. We've been doing it for about 2.5 years, and it's been fun. You know, it's the first time that I went into not just playing chess, but also talking about chess. So that was pretty cool. What is Fabiano Caruana's IQ? I have no idea what my IQ is. I don't know. I've never taken a test, as far as I know. I have no idea.
What would be your guess?
I don't even want to guess or know. Either whatever it is, I have no interest in knowing it. Has Fabiano Caruana ever won a world championship? I have not won a world championship. I've played a world championship, but I didn't win it against Magnus in 2018. That was the one time that I played the world championship. What was Fabiano Caruana's career highlight? I think this is similar to the last question. My career highlight was winning the candidates in 2018. and that qualified me for the World Championship. So that was probably the happiest I was after playing a tournament, and the most difficult tournament, and probably the proudest success that I have. How tall is Fabio Caruana? I think 169 centimeters. I guess that's either 5'6" or 5'7", 169 centimeters. Did Fabio Caruana go to college? I didn't go to college. I never went to college. I never went to high school. I went to school until I was 12 and then I stopped. I was done with it after that. Is Fabiano Caruana Italian? I have a lot of Italian heritage. I am an Italian citizen. My mother's Italian. I never grew up in Italy. I never lived in Italy, but I have a lot of family there. So I spent a lot of time as a kid visiting them, spending time with my family, and also from my father's side as well. He has a lot of Italian ancestry, and all my grandparents were born in Italy. So from a heritage point of view, I'm very Italian, and also I'm an Italian citizen, but I haven't ever lived there. And although I did represent Italy for many years now, I represent the United States playing chess.
Wear your love of chess on your sleeve with all new apparel and accessories from the Chess.com merch store. Maybe you simply want a clock that will never run out, or a mouse pad that will finally unlock your speed chess potential. Whether you play chess to get energized with your morning coffee, or play into the wee hours of the night and witness the occasional alien abduction, we've got something for every king, queen, and knight in shining armor. Even gift cards for your loved ones who've caught the chess bug. So check out the Chess.com shop for apparel, accessories, and more. Grab your favorites before they're gone.
And we are back with an explosive day and explosive chess here at the Atomic Chess Championship. I'm FIDE Master James Canty III here with Gregory Joseph. It's been fun and an excellent chess so far. What's been your highlight so far, Greg?
I have enjoyed everything. Is that a cop out? I've enjoyed all the games. I've loved seeing these dynamic play by white. Some people stepping out of the box away from a lot of the main stuff. So yeah. I love to see that.
Well, we love to see more chess too as well, as we are not done yet. Let's take a look at the bracket. How did we get here? Where are we right now? As you see, we have the winner and a loser's bracket. Johan has made it all the way through, winning some matches, and Liam as well, his opponent, now knocked down to the loser's bracket as they have one life left. It's Gonzalo versus Benjamin and Eduardo versus Alexei to see who is going to get through to the grand final to challenge either Johan or Liam there, which we're going to take a look at these games in a minute here. So I think you were saying, Greg, Johan, huh? He's making it through. He's basically one match away from the final.
You know, heading into this, he's the guy that I thought had the most complete repertoire. That being said, Liam's got something to say about that. He's here, he's ready, he's looking to take the finals here and sit there and say, you guys come back to me. Whoever survives comes back to me. I'm gonna take this match and stay.
In fact, we're going to put that's going to be the heavyweight matchup right now. Is we're just going to check the winner's bracket. We'll come back into the loser's bracket if we have time here, but we're going to just check the big dogs here because they won every single match so far. So this one is the most important of the day for them.
And he's showing, his varied. Jake is showing some varied openings here as well. Black claiming that space, expanding that pawn shield, that pawn wall, trying to make life miserable for those pieces. And white, he's not biting. He's not biting on taking that bishop and opening up play for white, of course. So this is very nice. This is I think we're gonna get a very good game here.
And Johan is saying, "Hey, I'm going to move my knight here and then here." He's telling him where he's going to put it. So he
Yeah,
said
but he's
no.
not gonna let him. He said no, sir.
Like, you know what? You're right, bro.
There was a comment earlier in chat by Mr. Wimples about knights being heat-seeking missiles in this variant, and I thought that was pretty spot on. So he just takes that knight right off the board.
Heat-seeking. That's correct, because he was going to go for this crazy idea that we've seen before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
yeah. He just drawing these arrows.
Yeah, okay.
So
Okay.
funny. He's like,
We're
oh,
making art. We got a Picasso. We got a
okay.
Picasso
You know
here.
what? Shoot, hold up,
Part-time
dog.
painter.
You know what I
Okay.
mean? Since we drawing
Okay.
arrows.
Yeah.
You're like, what the heck is that? What
What
piece
is
is
going on?
that? Went from C7 to G7.
I don't know what he's calculating. That's a bit beyond me. Some of those arrows, but yeah, he wants to pry open those light squares. A theme that we have seen a lot today. You know,
Doing
both the
queen
queen and
B3
the
looks
bishop can
good.
stream into that. Yeah. No, queen b3 doesn't look good. A bishop takes knight.
Oh,
That makes
bishop
it
takes
too.
knight. What a freaking move there. That would hurt. Ouch.
Yeah.
So maybe knight
Easy
b5, but
to.
I mean,
But knight b5 is
yeah.
good because it prepares queen b3 and potentially bishop
And bishop
b5
b5.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
So
nice.
at some point you might want to consider that. But why do it with the knight when you can maybe try to start pushing that c pawn? But then the dark squares are weak, so you have to kind of figure out how you want to try to crack this open. I also guess white could try to get in via. No, he can't get in via g6 because black just plays g6, and then there's no getting in.
Pawn wall.
Yep, little pawn wall.
A lot of arrows. These guys
He's
are calculating.
Thinking, he's trying to break down this pawn on b5. It's such a nice defensive resource. I do think white must have, some play.
There we go. He does. He goes with that knight b5 idea, and now we can follow up with a queen b3 or bishop to b5. Queen b3 threatens stuff like this. Maybe not queen g8.
No, but you know, if the king went to if the king went over, actually, if the king went to f8, you'd still just play queen f7, and that's mate. So, but
queen b3, I like.
Yes, bishop
and
e6.
Maybe bishop a4. How does he? Yeah, I was about to say bishop e6.
Bishop e6, then d5.
I was just gonna say that maybe can you play d5? This is crazy. And if bishop d5,
no, pawn takes
would
pawn.
lose.
Well, you lose because bishop takes knight. So yeah, that's no good. Instead, he just plays the calm g3.
g3, daring him to capture, because if you capture, they both are gone. Pawn takes is possible. Yeah, what's wrong with this one? I guess he just opens up both queen a4 check. Oh yeah, that's a nice. Dang.
It queen a4, and you can't actually. You can play knight.
Can't even
even
block.
if you play knight c. Yeah, you go knight c6, but the queen still can. Here, I actually don't like that for black.
Oh, is he cooked? No, he's not.
Yeah. Well, this is bishop takes.
Oh,
it's over. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is over now. Queen takes pawn, and that was not a good move.
Combination. Oh my goodness! Farm just cooked him, boy. That was an insane combination. After that, after all the pieces blew up like that,
Jake just. And Jake, let's see here, Liam. He's just been heating up this whole time.
Jake from State Farm with a absolutely.
He's gotten better every round. He won the first round in OT 3-2. He won the second round 3-1. Maybe he's looking to just continue to drop those losses and try to 3-0 here.
Yeah, he's trying. He's trying to use his best that he can, save the best for last year. But he still has the grand final to go through, which whoever that is through the losers bracket. But yeah, we'll see what happens. E4.
This is an unusual looking
opening here.
How often do you get to see this kind of position in chess?
You know, okay, in our 30-second arenas that we have. Yes, we do see strange stuff happens every night. So
I love it.
Yeah,
I love
I've seen this before, but it's really different with atomic chess.
Oh, that diagonal opens up. So, I mean,
okay, he's showing us. He's like, okay, 95. We want to do this again. Nice e6, which is another move I've seen him been doing a lot.
Yes.
Now I really want to get rid of this, but is it possible? Maybe knight f4.
He just stop. Yeah, he just
Capture,
stops the idea altogether.
and then queen h5.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you see that? Just an arrow. He's like, yeah, you know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah,
bro, there's
well,
nothing
yeah.
even there. There is not.
No.
I swear I would be doing
Kansas
this
is
every
over it.
game. I would be messing up
Just
my
messing
opponent.
with it. Yeah.
Just like, yo,
What's
what is
going
he
on?
doing?
What's he
Like,
thinking?
what?
What's he?
You're like, yeah, over here. What is that? I don't know. It's nothing. Literally.
I love it.
Didn't think tank. He castles here. Okay, not threatening really anything. Rook b2 is not very good. So maybe we get the piece closer. Wow, what a move. Was that like threatening? It was bishop c7. Rook b6.
So I got distracted again by chat. We got some funny people in there. Shout out to everyone who's joined us here for the Atomic Championship. Good to see y'all.
Shout out
Hope
to
you're
chat.
enjoying the chess.
What's up, chat?
Yeah, you know,
What if I just take this? Oh, but my knight's gone.
well, I was trying to think about, like, what if you tried to attack that g6 point and then try to get your queen in via h5?
Yeah,
But-
that was an idea.
Yeah.
I like that idea a lot. Okay, knight's
Or
gone
just
now.
however you get your queen in there, yeah. Because,
queen
but the
f3.
problem is now, h5 is always met with g5. Maybe that's not a problem because you can still slip in through those light squares a new way.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, yeah. You. Hmm.
Minute left for Johan here. d5, I like it, trying to
Good
open up
talk,
lines
good
and
talk.
diagonals. He's definitely threatening to capture.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If takes, rook e1, long range check.
Yeah.
Possible.
Yep.
e5,
You
do
wanna
we
lock
take
that
the
up?
rook? Maybe push in there too.
Yeah. I think you still got to keep it. It's a bit dangerous. Yeah, I like this move you have here. D6 is a very interesting move. You obviously can't take because then queen d7 is mate. And if you push your c pawn, that d pawn just becomes a humongous thorn. Both d pawns are a thorn in black side because that d7 pawn remains a detonatable pawn.
Yeah.
So I really like this move. If white can get d6 in, but
What I don't like is Johan's time here. This might be an even match. I mean,
yeah,
it
he
is,
goes
but
for it.
also 20 seconds on the clock here, and you have no increment. You got to remember that. This
You
could be
gotta
over
move.
soon, but you know, it's
Basically,
like one
we're
of those
looking
call
at
the
both.
ambulance, but not for me. For who?
I love it.
Call the ambulance, but for who? Like someone either gonna flag or you're gonna get mated.
Johan probably has about what, like 10 to 15 moves to figure it out. Now, less now that he's down to 11 seconds. If you're thinking he gets like half a second a move and he's moving quick, it's tough to imagine him winning in the next 10 or so moves.
We're gonna
But
need to see a huge, catastrophic blunder. Rook takes e4 with the loose.
well, the queen gets in on the light
d3.
squares now, right? Knight d5. Knight d5 is forced.
Played.
So.
Rook takes.
Queen comes to f7 and it's over.
Wait, I was just
Wait.
gonna say
Oh,
that. Right?
oh, right.
This
It's not
queen
over
F-
because you don't have to respond to check. You don't have to respond to check.
Oh,
The
he
front was
don't
queen
have.
f2.
Man,
Yeah,
that's
I was in the
rule-
same mode, man. I was in the same mode, but that's what we were
That
talking
rule
about.
is insane, bro.
Yeah, queen f2 would have won the game for black. Oh my gosh, look at this.
Look at that. And Johan
goes down.
He goes down. Jake from State Farm's like, this is a match. Don't count me out.
Jake's like, I saw you talking about how your favorite is new favorite.
Don't count me out.
We jumped the ship, bandwagoning. We bandwagoning.
Go. 4 game matches versus.
We've seen this structure before. We've seen this structure before with this configuration where the queen doesn't.
Whoa! Shoot.
Yeah.
Oh, he's getting the 3 like last time, but he didn't take.
Yeah.
Would have got 3 pieces for the queen, as we saw before. Was definitely nice for the person with the 3 pieces.
Yep.
Versus that queen here taking will explode.
As long as you
the
have
other
enough
pieces around
pawns.
it, too.
Yeah.
Bishop b2, maybe castles. Queen side.
Mm-hmm.
h4, h5.
I
don't understand. Is this not normal chess? No, this is not normal chess.
Yeah.
I know.
You know, it doesn't look that far.
Okay. Like, yo, what is going on? Like, yeah, this is atomic chess. So when you take something, it captures and blows up the squares around it. Pieces too as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's not possible. Rook F8. Oh, there's takes, and then there's you just take it.
Mm-hmm.
You lose the queen, but whatever.
Yeah, but you don't lose the game, so that's
Right.
okay.
Right. E4.
You know, it's funny if he didn't
Wow.
play queen takes rook, you would
Mhm.
have
But
well,
like,
yeah, you still check and then force the king towards the H pawn and then detonate. Like in terms of mating ideas, how these
oh,
like
correct.
patterns work. But I
This one.
this one really went south for Jake, but he's proven time and time again that when it looks bad, he sees beyond how it looks initially, and maybe he's got something cooking here.
Yeah, definitely. It looks Bishop B2 looks good with the castle queen side type idea
Yeah.
here too as
Let's
well.
get pieces in.
Wait, Jake
You want to
from
be a
State
little
Farm went
careful.
2-0. I thought he won the last game. Oh shoot, I actually thought Johan won for some
No,
reason.
yeah. Jake is just
It was
Jake showing up.
Jake beat him
He's just showing up.
twice. Jake just out here
Jake,
2-0 everyone.
yeah.
I thought it was 1-1, but I was completely wrong
Jake
here.
will come through. We see in chat. Yep, he is covered.
He will come
You
through. He
got
is
it.
covered. Oh yeah, he got you covered on insurance. He got you covered on the
Mhm.
board. Whatever you need, Jake from State Farm, he's got you covered. That's crazy. He's playing great.
Yeah, he is, and he's got his king covered right now. He's got files to play with. Maybe it's not bad at all.
Nice.
Hmm.
Okay, well,
So what's Johan even trying to do here?
I was just gonna say that. Yeah, Johan he has the queen, so he
I mean,
has
he is
knight c2, but that's gonna detonate. So
this think
yeah, I
tank
saw this kind of even
is
takes.
right. Oh dear, this is
What is the balance here? Oh, he detonates there.
yeah.
Okay, this is no, it's not gonna be a draw. Takes.
White has the extra pawn.
I get to detonate. Oh my
Jake
goodness.
is
It's a
very
fun game.
comfortable. Jake is in the driver's seat here. That extra pawn is going to tell. And he just
G4,
immediately
same take.
mobilizes it. Yeah.
You detonate.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, very awesome move.
Mm-hmm.
Push C4 probably next.
Nasty. Yeah, nasty.
Okay,
Just
went the D6 route.
Yep, he's getting his pawns on light squares so the bishop can't sack itself on him.
Oh, plus he's trying to flag Johan as well.
And he's going to. He is going to. There's
and there it is.
Wait, did they draw that? Am I crazy?
I
Did I
actually
see
don't
draw?
know. Yeah, I saw draw agree, but that's it anyway.
Yeah. It spares him though.
Yeah.
He could flag. Yeah.
5 seconds there, but Jake from State Farm 12 here is going to make
covered
it through to the grand final, which is Liam Hereford. Congratulations to him. So we actually have a next game. Let's go to the losers games.
Yeah, let's see what's going on down there. Because and obviously you can fight your way back. You can fight your way back. You gotta lose 2 matches to be eliminated from this event.
This game, that is not.
Wow.
This game. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, we're here. Had to find him.
Yep. That typical knight just being a nuisance on a square where it looks like it's on pre, but it's not.
Rojito is Gonzalo.
Mm-hmm.
1-1. Okay, cool. So these boys are 1-1 so far in the losers bracket. A lot of chess left here with these boys. Okay, so
lots left.
Rojito with Bishop H3 on the board from Ponosaurus. What is the intention?
Block
Don't really
A.
know yet. Maybe block A, right? Okay, Bishop G2 is possible. Lock everything
You always
up.
want to be. Yeah, you also it's actually just doing a good job stopping that H pawn from coming up the board too for now. So
the king cannot capture anyway, so super blockade here. Knight takes H6 would explode some stuff. Not really needed. B5 I like.
Yeah, that knight is doing a great job just being annoying. Yeah, where do you... This is... I think white just starts expanding here, and that'll be that. I don't really see where black can draw up anything, honestly. It's hard to come up with a good plan for black.
Like this, like my knight, the general knight type of play. Maybe something with like a knight of 6 and try to take this one too as well. Some pieces. Oh,
you could
that's
also take
nice.
your
Now my
time.
bishop's
You could also take your time with knight d2, knight... Ooh. I don't know you want to give up that knight. So you definitely can't, because the bishop, if black is allowed to take the knight, you lose your bishop and your rook as well. So
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
So you
gotta
play
stop that.
C4, stopping this.
Big trade if you take, because the knight, the bishop, the pawn all go. All go.
Everything's gone.
You would be able
Man, I
to,
know that's the rule that I would forget a lot. It's like, oh, takes. Oh shoot, I just lost everything. Like, but you can
but
remember
bishop,
and then you forget it within 3 moves.
but with bishop takes, you maintain your d pawn, and that would be important because otherwise white would be able to pin your rook on on e8 with the move rook d8, which we're not going to see anything like that. But
So now he brings out the knight to be
yeah,
able to
and
do
we've got
something.
threats.
Yes, I do like this long diagonal
Knight g.
pressure.
The threat there was knight g6 before g5. If knight g6, the g pawn can't move, and the bishop detonates on it. So he plays g5 so that knight g6 doesn't lock that pawn next to the king.
Super annoying. This pawn strategy here is insane. And it's white to move here as Rojito has to move knight d7. Anything captures will be exploded itself with the piece. Knight f6 is a threat. Check. Do we take? I guess I detonate and then check.
You have to.
And then
But this is
take,
big, though. This is
detonate.
big. This is
I
big.
think white's just going to win because I might have just more pieces.
Yeah, that pawn is not going to hold back that bishop forever. I mean, you might even...
Let's check. We can detonate here. Then knight d2.
Yeah, knight d2, and you scoop in c. Like, I don't even know you take. Right. That rook is worse than that knight, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
you take and then you play knight c4.
Into...
Yeah, I think you could take and play c. Okay, he just... I would have taken there, but I guess it doesn't... You still get knight c4 regardless. So it's completely fine.
I can't take this pawn.
Yeah.
Wait, I could if I move the knight. There's some situations where I move the knight and I rook takes for this.
I mean, just takes, and then if rook over knight e5, and it's locked up. Knight e5 is natural, and then the other, you can even play your bishop to c3, or no, you can't. Bishop c3, pawn over, rook over, and then the bishop, and yeah, this is going to be fine for white. The pawn runs. It's all under control. It's all under control.
I have enough pieces too as well, but I don't have enough time. Whoa, this is a time scramble.
Ooh, time scramble. Both sides under 5 seconds.
Oh, here we go.
Oh my gosh.
He flagged. Oh, it doesn't matter how you get it. It matters if you got it done. Ponosaurus gets it done with the flag there. Very important.
Very nice.
That's it.
That brings Ponosaurus to 2-1.
Yep, 2-1 with a draw to secure the round.
Yep, Benjamin looking good. Oh,
it's like theory.
This is theory. Queen b6. Queen b6 is coming. So
what the heck is this?
I told you this is theory. This is the one I was like so excited to see. This is pure theory. King f7 is not correct. King f7 is not correct. It's a sideline. This is big though. This is all theory. This is all known. This is all known. This is from this specific position, white wins over 70% of the time. It's
insane.
This is all pure theory. So if can we go back to the beginning real quick to cover this one? Because this is one of like the main lines. I'm pretty sure we're going to be So when we're talking atomic here, so first things first, he starts with knight f3 to create that threat of the knight jumping in and detonating on f7 or d7. So f6 stops it. Now e3 comes, and this is preparing the queen to come to h5 in some lines. e6 fights that queen h5 idea, because now queen h5, g6, there's no queen to d5, which would hit both d7 and f7. But what white does anyways is he goes after the diagonal via knight d5. c6 does not dissuade the knight from coming, so c6 is normally played here. And then knight b5, pawn takes, queen h5, g6, queen b5, knight c6, and then queen b6. And the point here is that if you were to take takes queen, you would detonate your knight, and then bishop b5, or bishop comes out anyways, hitting that d7 point. King would have to go to f7 to stop mate, and then bishop takes d7, detonates the bishop and queen, so you get your material back with interest. So
that's crazy, bro.
This is all theory. This is all theory.
He plays king f7.
We got to get them people over at Chessable to support Atomic, so we can start writing books for people.
Yeah, I see that on the chat. They're like, yo, we need to, when the Chessable course coming out. Absolutely. Wow.
You gonna co-author that with me?
Crazy. Yeah, I'm
that
definitely
Atomic
down.
Chessable book. Let's go. We be cooking.
Yeah, Greg going crazy.
Greg
going crazy here, dog.
But this is good though. And now we get to see black with the annoying knight next to the king. We've seen a lot of that for white, but black has some annoying pressure here.
Yeah, rook takes is
That's a full.
nice.
He's trying to
It
get.
does open up the file.
Yeah, it does. But you can try to plug it with the bishop. The knight can
Yep.
take, and the rook gets in. But you can plug it with
Yeah,
the
bishop
knight.
d3.
Oh, maybe you can't. Can you? Because even if you
Something
get
like
the knight
this.
to d6, yeah, you can still push the pawn, or you can sack or you can blow up with the bishop if he goes knight b5, knight d6. This is kind of scary. White
Yeah, I have extra
obviously
pieces
has the
though, and
pieces,
like
but
exactly, I
just
just have extra
survive.
pieces, and I'm out the way.
Yeah, you just
Exactly,
survive.
castles, I'm
Just
good.
survive. Yeah,
Good.
this should be fine. He survived. It
Rojito
was
here
scary there,
is
but
looking to come back in this one.
mm-mm.
Chuck Moulton says I accessible a year ago. They didn't support variants. Yeah, Bookhouse or Crazy House. Yeah, that'd be
I would love
nice.
that.
That'd be
I would
fire.
love that.
Adjustable course on that. 52,
Absolutely.
everything exploded. Yeah, Rojito might be going down here. I mean, it's just he doesn't have enough pieces. Ponosaurus is who again? Benjamin, who's looking to close out here and move further into. Actually, Johan already moved on, by the way, as well. Or sorry, Leon lost. Liam won. That game's over. Anyone left?
We have do we have a result in Tsunami and Lesha, Eduardo and Alexei?
Happening right now.
Okay, there we go.
More equal
These
here.
thematic knights.
More equal.
Yeah.
What's the pawn count? 3-6.
I like.
Well, White's down a pawn.
I like black. I like black here. I think. Maybe I'll be wrong. That's a nice move. But those pawns are just a very clear win condition for black, right? If everything comes off,
this is why rook c2 happens. Detonate everything.
Those pawns, though.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think you take, right? You take. I think you take.
He does.
And then you just push and you lock up the structure. The knight, take the knight off.
Yeah,
that pawn. It's
winning.
over. That king cannot stop that pawn. White will run out of moves. It's like turbo opposition, right? Oh, it's just over. It's just over. And that queen just follows him and mates. I love it.
And mates him.
Nice.
Crazy part of the format there. Absolutely insane.
I'm glad we got that one. What a nice to end the round.
Great job. Great job. Okay, is that end of the round there? That might be it. Looks like Cross is moving on. Oh no, there's Universal Tsunami one more time here. Playing. Oh, is this theory too, right? We just saw this. 95 and AC7. Yeah, turbo opposition.
It's
exactly right.
annoying.
Turbo opposition was funny. Turbo opposition.
That's right. When y'all are getting the Canty Joseph Atomic Chessable book next year, there'll be a whole chapter on that, on turbo opposition.
Turbo opposition.
Like Dvoretsky, but for Atomic.
Yeah, this is insane because like you can't take obviously because it blows up. So now all of this pawn structure tension on the king side.
You really want to pry apart this wall. Yeah, like it's funny because it's like a staring contest, right? Both sides want to pry open, but you have to be very precise that you're the one landing first. As you pry open too fast, black's counterplay is clear if you open things up too quickly.
Okay, here we go. They're on 2-2, and I think half point wins. It goes to somebody wins. So E5, is that possible? Takes, blows some stuff up. E5 is a nice move, I think. It should be 2 also as well. I gotta get some pieces developed. Could also maybe explode here in castle. The idea of exploding, trying to use the rook. Takes. Cool. Bishop A3. That is a check. Only one.
You can block it with 3 different ways.
Right. Goes for it. Bishop
Which
A3
way's
check.
best?
Exactly. Exactly. He says, okay, D6.
Okay. Sure.
D6.
And we have this nice,
that.
you see this nice pawn wall again. Black has achieved, and white is doing the right thing and threatening a lot of different ways to try to make this wall crack open and get the pieces in. Black is surviving, though. I'm not sure that we can say he's thriving, but he's surviving.
But he's surviving. Exactly.
Yeah.
He is surviving. He ain't blown up yet, boys. He hasn't stepped on that landmine. 92. Developing pieces, get them off the back rank, good things happen.
Oh.
When you develop, this is not a good move, so bishop to b.
I wonder if the idea is like, or if you play something like rook. No, because then you push the pawn. I was trying to think about
One is kind of
rook
vicious.
b1, but rook b1
Yeah.
doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, take explode it to take the bishop too, I think, or something
Yeah.
like that. Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of tension. I like white. Dude.
Lot
I
of
like this
tension.
space. The space.
So much tension here. And then, and you know, those nerves are going to be going up too. The closer you get to elimination, to moving on.
Oh shoot! Oh yeah, you could just take it, right? But these pawns are vicious. I have to like plug the hole of rook a3 with a4,
Mm-hmm.
e5. Everything is
Trying
traded
to break
out.
this.
Man, what
Yeah,
is
he's
going?
trying to
Like, look
shatter
at
this.
the pawn captures. This is
It's so
crazy.
much to think about. And again, like, you just got to be sure that once you crack the position open, that you're the one taking advantage of it, because counterplay comes fast and hard. Like, a lot of people who are studied up on this, at the first time they look at this, they might say, "Oh, well, white is just so much better." That's not necessarily true. Like, black has a lot of resources and a lot of ways to stir up trouble. And it's the draws that you don't see. You still see black win their fair share of games in this variant, but no draws really. Few
I
draws.
love them. I love this. I love this a lot. I think I should probably end up capturing here.
I think you
Blow
advance,
everything
right?
open and the rook takes.
I'm really intrigued by white pushing one of these pawns on either the D or F files. I try to hit this weak E point, and you're going to create a passer potentially if you go, well, he's okay. So he wants to get his pieces active. That's always good in this variant.
Yeah,
There's
activate
a
the
lot
pieces.
to
I look
consider.
good. I feel like I have a good space. I can't capture yet, obviously, because bishop takes
And
explodes everything. Maybe I
and
go
you also want
here.
to be
I
careful
have
about
open blinds.
like a natural looking move like knight e4 here is terrible because pawn takes pawn blows up the knight. So like you have to think about squares like e4 as not safe. That is not a safe square.
Problematic. So
Yeah,
the bishop
I mean
moves out of the
push.
way.
Yeah, push.
Push. There
This
it
is what I'm
is.
saying.
Open up the
Like
diagonal.
they are these twin fangs sinking into the position, the meat of black's pawn defense here between both d5 and f5. I really like this for white. I know that those pawns on the queen side are intimidating, but they are intimidating against pieces. White's play is coming against
Ooh,
black's
nice
king.
move.
You know,
Sick move.
it kind of makes me
That's a
think of
beautiful
like,
move.
yeah, it's gorgeous. You know, it makes me think of like king's Indian defenses, where white has all this space on the queen side, and
Hmm.
black has this king side attack, and it's just like you kind of know white's better, but if black's king side attack breaks through, it feels so good to give that mate.
Sort
And
of
I
King's
think
Indian in reverse. Takes. Bishop g7.
oh,
That's a nice check. You can't take. You have to move the king. Where do we go?
knight
King
takes
f7.
pawn
I was just going to say,
or pawn takes
yeah,
either way.
and
Yeah,
there it is.
very nice finish. And yeah, white,
Very
and that's
nice.
the thing, right? Black's pressure was material focused. White's pressure was checkmate focused. So definitely deserves to win that one.
As he does. He makes it through, boys and girls. Let's take a look at that bracket. Boy, Liam is all the way through. He was able to defeat Johan. Wow. But Johan still has a life left as he's in the losers bracket down there. Who is going to be his opponent? That's the question that's coming right up with that. That was nice. All right, Greg. Any last thoughts here before we go on a short break?
Just that we're having a great time. Thanks everyone who's sticking around. We got some great chess coming up for you.
Absolutely, of course. And we'll be back with this short break right after this, guys. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back with the Atomic Chess Championship interview.
I bet Johan gets back.
Yeah, he was the best through there.
Yeah. I think we're going to see a rematch. Should be fun.
He was the best for sure.
just got started, so I'll let you know.
And the rebounder, Richardson. Still an opportunity with a minute to play.
We have some ChatGPT questions for you.
You've risen quickly through the ranks of elite chess. What do you think has been the key to your rapid improvement? I think it's just that I love what I'm doing, and I spend most of my time with chess, and I'm mostly curious about chess, and I try to learn something every day. So I think that is the key to my improvement and in general. What role does mental resilience play in your success, and how do you stay mentally strong during long and exhausting games? Yeah, for sure. Any sport or any field in life, I think being mentally tough is quite important these days. And for sure, I've had a lot of tough moments, like a really long game that I've lost, and I had to play a next game against a very strong opponent. Like a lot of these situations, and I think being able to let go and just focus on what's important at the moment is quite important. And staying strong in long games, I'm generally able to outplay my opponents the longer the games go. And I think being physically and mentally strong, being able to focus for long periods of time is quite important. How much time do you typically dedicate to opening preparation versus middle game tactics and end games? I think at this level, it's most of the time is dedicated to openings, but as I'm still young and evolving, I do spend quite some time with middle game, analyzing my games, etc., and studying end games as well. But yeah, I think most of the time, by a large margin, is spent on opening preparation. If you could compete in a tournament against any historical chess player, who would it be and why? I've always wanted to compete against Fischer, because I consider him the greatest genius of chess has ever seen, and I think it would be it's an experience it's just I think very special for any chess player, and Fischer has played I think the stories and the games I've seen of him, I've heard about him, have really impacted me a lot. So yeah, it'd be Fischer.
Welcome back to the Atomic Chess Championship, and I am here, PDA Master James Kidd III, here with Gregory Joseph. So we are still going. Greg, what's going on, man? Tell us about the bracket act.
So we got Eduardo, Jason Benjamin, for a chance to play Johan, for a chance to play Jake from State Farm, Liam Herford, sitting and waiting.
He is. He's sitting, waiting, chilling, probably having a snack, maybe some lunch or dinner, wherever he is. Maybe breakfast, who knows? But he's probably just chilling and watching the games as he has, waiting on that person who's going to make it to that grand final there. And will it be a grand final reset? But right now we only have one match to follow. So let's get right into that one, as that match is going to pop up very soon. But who do you have? Who do you guys have, chat? And what about you? Who do you think is going to make it through the grand final?
All these players have a chance. I have been saying Johan since the start, so I'm not gonna back down from that. Even though he is down to his last life. For this immediate match, Eduardo versus Benjamin, this is another great pair of players who have a lot to say about making me look wrong. But I have to take Eduardo in this one. I think I'm going to take Eduardo.
Okay, I believe the same here. I think we've seen just a little bit more consistency, even though they're both in the losers bracket here. But I think we've seen a little bit more consistency here from Universal Tsunami. But who knows? Anything can happen. It's only one match, and it is best of 4. Let's see what happens
That
here.
Black King looks a little loose to me. I think White's going to get
Absolutely.
a lot of ideas here. Black can get active quick. I just don't know how much, because at some point he's going to have to plug up that G file, and White's going to try to stop that. Here we go. Yep.
Okay,
I think
so
it's
this
a
is like
pretty
a
direct game.
Rook G1 idea type stuff?
I would think so. I mean, a G5 or G6. I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe G5.
Sure. Yeah.
I do like
Maybe
takes. At
maybe
least it,
G6 is better though, because at some point White could go E4 and Bishop G5 himself to open up that G file again. So maybe G6 is better. You would think that
there we go.
that we're going to continue to see this fight for the G6, yeah. Because again, White might try to play E4 and Bishop takes G5 if the black pawn had gone too far.
We have a capture. Knight can go to C3 now. Thinking here would blow up my knight. Don't really like that here. You have to be very careful with your pawn captures. No, I love one thing I've been seeing is this diagonal. This has been fun.
Yeah, it's nasty.
Play on.
It's nasty. It's nasty.
Very fun.
I think White's very happy here.
Also have the extra piece. 2 pieces now.
Yeah, and that king just looks like a big target, you know? I think White's got a lot of ways to get to him. Let's see what he chooses, though. Okay,
knight C3. How do we? Oh yeah, this has been the consensus. Like go knight C3 or something, put the knight on B5. So he stops that. So maybe I go the other way.
Yep. He's got a lot of nice ways. Castles. Okay, interesting. He doesn't use the G file for his rook. Instead, gets a little safer. Gets the rook active. He is maybe
this.
No, because rook takes rook.
Oh, so you don't have to respond to check. Oh my goodness. That's so ridiculous.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
Oh my goodness.
But what you could
don't have to respond. I could do this.
Yeah. And this is looking really good. Ooh. I don't know about this. This is going to, because now that knight is pinned and that king has nowhere safe to go. I think the knight is going to reroute through. Yeah. So that rook is locked out of the game. The bishop and the queen's knight are going to come in for White, the queen's rook as well. And black tries to just scoot out of the way, but this is going to fall apart pretty quickly for black, I think. A calm move. Just a calm move. No nonsense with knight G4 ever. Never worried about knight G4. Yeah.
There it is. Bishop E2 lining up with knight takes D5. Detonating. A lot of stuff about to detonate here. A lot of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, you don't even need to sack the knight. Diagonal. You don't even need to if you don't want to. You could save the knight and, well, no, you will do now because he meets knight E2 with D4 and then pawn takes. No, it does. No, there's no pawn takes. It detonates. What am I talking about? Yeah, I don't know if you need to give up your knight.
Detonate.
So, but yeah,
here comes the bomb.
He saves the knight. He does save the knight. Maybe he had the exact same thought process. Probably not the exact same, but you know. I don't think you just take and there's no pawn takes pawn. Yeah, this is
D4 nice move. Keep the bishop.
Yeah, because keep him live so that CB doesn't blow up. Not going to work. Knight takes for black. The pass pawn isn't enough. But you do want to be careful. Just pointing out again, there's a blunder here for White. If White were to take on G6, he actually clears aside the F6 knight, and rook takes rook would be a win for black. So you don't want to do that. If you take G6 to detonate the knight, you don't have to respond to the check that you're in. Rook takes rook would be a win.
That's insane. And actually, rook takes rook would be a win. That's
something
else because your king's hanging. Like
White could sidestep the king at some point.
King H2 or G2, which he does.
Exactly.
So there's no dead.
So there's nothing near him, and here we go. And now White's idea is back on the menu.
Up a lot of time. Here it is. He
Do it.
detonates. King
It's
is in
over.
check. King has to move.
It's over. It's
Actually, no, he
over.
played
This is mate and X. This is mate and
Oh,
X.
yeah.
That king is going to be
Check,
forced
check.
over to that H pawn or get mated directly.
Rook G1.
The other rook
Rook
will.
F7.
Yeah.
Knight F7 because the king can't take. That's crazy. I
Yep.
saw that checkmate with like a bishop and
Yeah.
pawn here and a king in the corner. That's a nasty.
This is our version of the Arabian mate, but
Arabian.
comic variation.
Because the king cannot capture any pieces.
That's
guys.
right.
All right.
That's right.
Next game from them should be rematching. Wait for that. There it is. Okay. Oh, I see the theory again.
Yep. Here we go.
A little bit different though. A little bit different this
Here we
time.
go. And again,
F3,
this is
F6.
good because D5 is fine. Just trying to get that queen as active as possible.
Here we are in the live game.
You see, one thing I really like about what we're seeing from all of the players today, when someone starts out with this variant, a lot of times they will sacrifice the queen for 3 pieces, whether that's bishop, knight, rook, 3 minors, whatever. And you don't always want to do that. Like, even if it is still good for white, it can be difficult to coordinate all your pieces with all the variables about detonation on the board. And sometimes the queen is just very simple. You get her in there and you give mate. So
Right.
even if it's good for white, you see these guys have a lot of trigger discipline with the queen. And I think that's part of what separates them from a lot of atomic players. They don't always just execute the threat just because it's there. They're willing to leave the tension until it is maximally beneficial to them.
In the meantime, here, let's take a look at the bracket once again here. So we got to understand who are they facing, right? So at the end there was Jake from State Farm is waiting on one of these players down here in the losers bracket where Eduardo is trying to actually continue his win here. I think he's already up 1 here. So, oh no, he's down 1. That's Benjamin. Depends, but okay. I think Johan's going to make it through. That's who I think is going to face in the grand final. What do you think?
Again, I'm so sorry, distracted by the funny people in chat, but I do think that we are going to see a finals rematch ultimately, although
Grand
I would
final?
love to be proven wrong. I would love to be
Yeah,
proven
you never
wrong.
know. That's true here. Okay, so we just had, let me actually see that last capture. What happened here? Queen C7. Yep, trade off, takes, everything gone. I love the sound effect in there too. It's just boom. Oh, get that delayed. Okay.
Black can
white
plug
to
up the
move.
F file.
So what can I do here? I got
Black
a lot
will
of stuff
plug up the
hanging.
F files, no big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, but okay. You know,
Okay.
but okay. Okay, so big threat here. But pawn takes knight and bishop takes pawn is over for black, so you can't take the knight on c3. Even though at a glance you're like, ooh, I get 2 minor pieces, this loses the game because bishop takes e7.
And explodes right in front of the king. That's kind of crazy. It's nasty tech. There's not even check,
Mm.
but it doesn't actually matter here. I like this castle too as well, getting out the king out of the way. But I have to move from Universal Tsunami because I am low on time.
Yeah, bishop
by a
F-
lot. I'm
bishop
also
F5,
missing a
right?
piece.
Bishop f5 though, pawn e6.
Bishop f5 takes, everything blows up. So bishop f5, e6. Bishop takes would be nice. Maybe I go back.
Well,
G4.
you counterpin with f1, right? So now rook f1 after
F1,
e6
okay.
and pawn takes. Yeah, so like bishop
Pawn
f5,
takes,
e6, and now we're gonna see it.
F1.
And now rook f1 or castles.
Castles.
Okay, that
Nice.
I don't know.
Very
That's
nice.
interesting.
Fancy.
Interesting.
Fancy.
Yeah.
Still no capture.
Nope. Gets his king out of the
King
way.
H1.
Gets him to the
Nice.
corner. Probably
No
gonna.
problems here.
He might even sit on this position and just move those pawns out of the way. I think he might say to black, like, "What's your plan? What are you doing?"
Yeah, I like what White's doing. I mean, everything's developed. Everything's nicely developed. Maybe you just push
Yeah.
and advance somehow.
You
Get
know-
his rook off of the diagonal too.
Even h4 maybe. Oh,
I thought about that.
yeah.
H4, knight
H4 is interesting. Yeah.
H4. This is also nice too.
You don't want to be playing knight a4 though, because pawn takes a3 detonates the knight as well.
Oh, the knight used both. Oh my.
It's an
Gross.
unsafe
That's
square.
uncanny there. Takes,
Yeah.
takes.
Yeah, this is, but then bishop f6. So, but rook can scoot all the way up to maybe f5 and
5, yeah.
But for now, black is holding it together.
Not on time though. 7 seconds. I think he's just gonna flag. It's a matter of really doing anything now. Yeah, there we go.
He just also doesn't
There it
have
is, resignation. You just don't have time.
Yeah,
Four
it's
pieces.
over on the board as well, but a very good try there.
Onosaurus with a dub there. That is Benjamin. Benjamin Cross. Good job. I think that's one. Is it 1-1 now, or is it? It's a rematch, by the way.
Yep, it's
Check it out.
1-1. We got a 1-1 tied up. Best of 4.
All right.
He's
Trade
off.
knight b5. Always the idea here is get this knight in there, but that's with c6.
Yeah.
Now it's not there. Taking will blow up everything here. So develop.
You got to be a little bit scared of the black has this threat right now of knight e4, which hits both f2 and d2. So
Explosions.
so like something like being greedy and going like knight c7 here would just be game over. So you have
Blowing
to
up.
address that threat. You can't get
You
too
wanna
focused in
be-
your attack in this game because again, the counter punches come fast.
Ooh. No, because that's kind of annoying. It's kind of annoying how everything explodes right around the king and you just lose. We've seen that probably like 2 or 3 times today. It happens, but okay. Knight of 6. And now, I don't know, d3 or f3. Maybe bishop d3 too. If he goes here, I have to just get rid of it. In a think tank, though, Universal Tsunami.
Yeah,
What
he
are you
is.
doing,
I'm
guys?
actually kind of
What are you
surprised.
thinking? Like,
I wonder what he's seeing that we're not seeing. What he's so bothered.
he went with
F3 is
the
also
f3
takes with the
idea.
G5. Yeah, it takes away the G5 square too. But
There it is. He gets rid of it.
castles and then F5, F4 for black. But I don't.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get
White's in
castle. I know the
time.
piece.
Yeah,
I'm
White's in time.
feeling good here. Like, I don't have any problems. It feels like.
And maybe he was just like making absolutely sure that there was nothing to worry about.
Especially with pieces on the back rank here. I mean, any variant is going to be a problem. Pieces on the back rank here. Knight moves where? Maybe just go back. I don't really need to give up anything. He does want to give up something. Cool, no problem. Castle, get out the way. Takes, eliminates yours. 2, he's saying. That's fine with me. I'll make you castle. 3 games, potentially 3 games. That could be more, but first of 4 or first of 2.5. Sorry, best of 4. First of 2.5.
Best of 4. Yeah, I was. And here we go. We talked about this. But you
Nice.
push again. You have to.
Yeah.
You can't take because again, that rook tension. Both the kings are right next to the rook. Whoever blinks first loses the game. So he has to push, and he does.
That doesn't work. Exploding the knight. Okay, now I'd probably just take the bishop.
Yeah, because you're going to want to get that queen side active at some point.
Black on the move, but we got this extra piece. No, 2 now?
But there's this idea for black that's kind of annoying, right? He checks, and then he has rook. He would have, so like you can't go to G2 because of rook F3 potentially.
Exploding,
But,
which is crazy.
yeah,
King
yeah.
H1, he's safe for now.
He's safe. And
For now.
I don't think black can do anything about this.
Something like this.
He's
Maybe
going to
even
try
bishop
to.
E3.
Yeah, and he's gonna be calm here.
Very calm and go around maybe something like this. Even hit the rook too as well.
Yeah, those
Plays
try to.
A4.
He's trying to close it up. It's not gonna. The closing up is not gonna work though.
This is not the greatest. It would take explode the rook here. Dude,
Sure would.
yikes! Can't even take this pawn. Oof. Black
Black
still
is
has
trying
some
to close this
counterplay.
up, but he's trying. He's trying,
I
but
can't move this yet. Well, maybe I can actually. I can go here. Expose the bishop.
there's this. It's funny if he goes rook e2 here and then rook e1.
Yep.
You want to take the pawn, not the rook, because if you took the rook, the pawn would remain and then be a queening threat. But you can take the pawn and detonate the rook. So even though we see this kind of like, yeah. So we see these kinds of like concepts that occur in classical chess, obviously due to the detonatable idea of this variant, not working here. White's fine.
Everything locked up. White's doing great. Rook e2 we'll have here.
Exactly.
C3 with
So there's
this
no way to
idea.
force it.
Go bishop e3. Lock everything up.
Mm-hmm.
Bishop d2, same idea. Very nice.
That and yeah, pawns. He's freeing those pawns because now b4 comes and then a4, a5, a6, a7, and queens. So I don't really know how black can stop that.
Universal Tsunami, and he's up time. 30 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, he's playing on out of momentum right now, but Pawnosaurus is not going to be able to stop the pawns on the queen side.
Yeah, white's faster. Should just queen. There it is.
Mm-hmm.
Great job. Universal Tsunami. Okay, 2-1. 2-1.
Mm-hmm.
Now we on
Yeah, he wants
game
another
4.
He's not going easy. He wants another crack at everyone, Universal had a great first round, and then he went down in the second to Liam, who is just, Jake is waiting there in the finals, and Universal says, like, hey, wait a minute, what about me? Like, I want my rematch. I want my rematch. He's looking to take this.
Jake from State Farm is waiting patiently. Is it
Mhm.
going to be Pawnosaurus or Universal Tsunami? Universal Tsunami, one game away from going to actually face Johan first, and then a potential of a grand final. Okay, so
Mhm.
95, we've seen a lot of this. Oh, that's a nice move. We can detonate everything. So he goes F3. Strong.
Mhm.
Detonate, probably do the same. Everything cleared out. Queen H5 is the
Mhm.
target.
Yep. I think we're going to see
Queen
this
G4
again.
too.
Yeah.
Queen G4, Queen D7 ideas.
Mm-hmm.
On the think tank.
The
He
think
doesn't
tank.
like this. Plays
Yeah,
E6.
he's a bit
He didn't
nervous, I
like that.
think, maybe.
Yeah, I understand.
But I
You
mean,
could just where's
now is a good time to be precise, of course, but it's always a good time to be precise, but especially now,
also like
the match
Castle Rook
situation.
takes F8. Like, wow, this F file is vicious. Nope.
Yeah.
Queen H4, you
I
respond
don't
with
know.
G3, really strong.
Mhm.
He plays it. Play
Does?
G3 here.
Yep.
I think you can, right? He's making sure, I
Yep.
think. There
He's
it
looking
is,
at like
G3.
Queen H3 though, and
And
it's
now
from
what?
Queen H3. The threat is Queen
Oh, is this the I'm
F1.
about to say, is this the wait.
Queen F1 is the
Hold
threat though.
on. How do
So
I stop this? All right.
I don't
Queen
think.
H5.
Oh wait, Queen H5. You don't. You. Oh yeah, you can ignore check, or you can't ignore this one. So you
There
have
it
to.
is. Queen H5. And then we
Queen
trade
takes
that way.
queen, and now you're
Nice.
good. Now you're good. Very nice.
Nice.
Very nice.
Now we can castle threaten. Rook takes F8.
Mm-hmm. White's doing fine. Tough though. This is tough. He's in a must-win. Yeah.
Yeah, he's in a must win. Pawnosaurus is.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, he's doing well. He has the extra piece, so it's very possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, no, wait. No, he's
No,
yes, he gave it back.
It's even.
It's even
It's
now.
even, yeah.
It's even. Okay. So, Rook takes F8 is not a possibility anymore. Wait, what did he just do? It was so fast. Oh, he took on G6.
Yeah.
What did he do?
Things
Where
blowing
did the
up.
pieces go? Okay. Yeah, Rook takes is not an idea here. We do want Rook F8 if we possibly can, but we cannot. So we're gonna have to play moves like maybe D3, E4, Bishop G5, explode this, and then take. That's a long way. Long ways down.
It's a long ways, but
Long ways down. Hey,
do we see chat? Yes, we do. What's up, tennis guy loves chess? Thanks for being here, man. Good to see you.
Over here.
Show a little love.
Pull up some chat. Pawns not exploding always gets me. Yeah, I understand. Yes, this is a game where everything explodes around you. Very careful. Who has playing this on surround sound system?
Yeah.
Like, yo, you playing chess in there? Yeah, I'm playing chess.
Neighbors be calling too loud. What's
Oh,
going
man.
on over there?
Get a noise complaint for playing chess. Wow.
So you don't want to play b4 here because the knight gets to b5. That seems problematic.
Mm-hmm. Which is generally something we've seen a lot of. It explodes here on C7. Really strong. And A7 too, but
so of course he doesn't.
yeah, gotta be clever. King moves aren't really great. That's a good move. What do I play?
Oh yeah, we know Mike.
Interesting.
We know Mike Tennis.
C5 or something. Oh, Mike Klein?
Oh yeah.
I think I know it. Oh, that's your uncle. Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
That's Uncle Mike. I'm
Uncle
calling that
Mike.
when I see him. Uncle Mike Klein. What's up, Mike? Uncle Mike Klein. Okay. Rook F7,
Yeah,
nice.
up.
Both
Yep,
there it is.
typical.
They both explode there.
But Rook F1 is
why
met with
am I
Knight
not
F2
taking
though.
this? Why don't I
That's a great question.
this?
Are we worried about H5? I mean Knight F2 though. Yeah.
Yeah, now we have Knight F2 and it blocks the whole thing.
Yep.
That's kind of annoying. Maybe knight d1.
Ooh, but I don't think you have to. Your rook is
Knight
trapped
e4
though
now.
because knight takes yeah, knight
Oh, I
e4.
can't take. Well, yeah,
You
knight
can't
d1,
take
it
it.
explodes.
You can't take. Okay, yeah.
Right.
Maybe
Right.
the problem is like here b4 is also an unsafe square as long as the pawn tension is there. So yeah, he gets rid of the pawn tension because he wants to get the knight out via b4. But this is not well. You go g4. Knight takes. No, that doesn't work. No, he just leaves it. Okay.
He did. Yeah, he really just left it there because it explodes
Yeah,
itself,
yeah.
which I understand. 97.
Mm.
Go back around. He went with the
G4,
G4
yeah,
idea.
you'd want to go G4, but I guess.
Just
Oh,
hope.
that's funny. Rook.
By the way, Universal
Rook
Tsunami
G3.
is okay. Now it's just a time scramble. No, there's no increment. We know what
I don't know if
happens
this
here.
is a time scramble anymore. Black's got this threat of Rook G3. What are you doing?
Gotta move. Gotta move. Rook G3.
Rook G3. What do you do?
Cannot take.
So he comes
I can do
back.
Knight
So
G. Yeah,
he
he
has
just
to
go back.
come. Yeah. Oh, it's over.
Wow.
Yeah. Nice.
You won and so fast here.
Very
Good
nice.
job, bro. It didn't matter though. Ponosaurus was low on time, 3 seconds, and it looks like Universal Tsunami is going to move through. He's going to face Johan here, and then we have a grand final. So, of course, we got Johan versus Universal Tsunami. They're going to face each other. Then after that, they're going to go to the grand final where there could be a possible grand final reset. It is very, very likely. But, okay. At the same time, we want to talk to you guys about the FIDE World Women Championship. It's just right around the corner. It is 2018 rematch, Zhu Wenjun versus Tan Zhongyi, but this time it's Tan Zhongyi looking to dethrone reigning champion Zhu Wenjun. The Women's World Championship begins on April 3rd, and you can catch all of the best coverage on Chess24 streams. You can use command WWC or visit go.chess.com/WWC 2025 to learn more. Okay, so we are not going to take a break here, guys. You thought we was going to take a break, didn't you? Caught you there. No. In fact, we actually have another game. We're going to go right into the losers final. So let's take a look. Maybe I don't know if that game started yet. Let me see. Yeah, so it's about to start. Okay, so losers final is coming up here. So we have Johan versus Universal Tsunami. Johan is looking very good shape. I mean, he's looking very sharp, Greg. And as far as you said, Johan, I also think Johan too as well. But I think it's actually more 50-50 than it feels in anything else.
Universal's been showing out.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah,
he made it through the losers bracket to the final. So like he only lost one match, and I don't even remember who that was to. But
it was to Jake. It was to
Jake.
Lamb.
From State Farm.
Who's the beast. So yeah.
Oh, State Farm. Oh yeah, that guy. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that guy. You know, the guy that's been the guy's been chilling. He's just been chilling for a while.
Killing them in the khakis. That's crazy. Like that's just insane. I was killing them in the khakis here, but you're gonna take a stab at those khakis now as the game starting. Universal Tsunami versus Johan. Man. All right. Let's see what happens.
All right.
What was this opening? Someone I don't even know. Let's just go back and see what we missed.
Yeah.
I figured it was knight f3. Okay, so knight f3, and then the knight somehow disappeared. There we go. Capture. Correct. Okay, and here we are. We could do this too. Wait, is there a bishop g3, queen d1? Oh, you don't have to respond to check. That's right. Nope. So that wouldn't work. So b4. Put some bait out here. Will you take it or not? Definitely not. These guys are more advanced. Here, this would just lose the bishop immediately.
And that same tactic we've talked about before with rooks is on the board again. White cannot take on e6. For those of you who are new to Atomic, this would be a very kind of common blunder for someone. It detonates the bishop, yes, but then queen takes queen ends the game. So black would be winning if white made that kind of blunder. And again, the knight can develop to c6 for the same reason, because the threat of queen takes queen X-ray.
They just develop somehow, get these pieces out of the back rank. Big fan of the bishop b2 ideas. We've seen a lot of action that way, especially with the king where it goes, and bishop over maybe to this way as well.
You know, if I'm black, I'm delaying decision making with the king as long as possible. Like he may actually be quite safe on e8 relatively, with some of the things you're talking about. So even though the move castles might be tempting, I'm not sure that I would actually put my king next to all these explodable squares yet, like until you
Yeah,
might have
I
to.
mean, even bishop h7 immediately wins. Look at all the arrows they're drawing.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
look
you
at that.
see
He's
what the
thinking.
he's thinking f5. Okay, blocking the bishop, logical. I might have bishop b2 threatening castles, bishop g7 there. Wow, really? He went bishop g6. Okay, so takes, explodes the square and the knight, I think. And then I guess we follow up with pawn takes. Here we go. He's on the move. Universal Sonata. There it is. Boom. Knight's gone. Takes, takes. It
King's
all
clear,
happened
H
right
file
here.
opens, and like I was saying, black doesn't want to do anything with that rook now.
Yes.
Hmm.
White's move. I don't know. Bishop g3, rook h8. So you got to be careful there. E5. Lock it up.
Yeah, if I'm white, there are some really simple plans here with just pushing that H pawn potentially, but there's also all these attractive squares around black's king that you might try to get your queen through. I think black's always in time to defend it, but getting the right move order here, because you can see the holes, but can you get to them?
Yeah, that's always the thing. You see the weaknesses, but can you get to them? It's only a weakness, truly, if you can actually get to it.
Yeah.
It goes h3. We talked a lot about the pawn walls before. Getting a nice little wall. King is doing fine. No problems. Maybe black casting queenside could be a thing. Make the king a little bit safer here. But Johan got to watch his time. He is down some serious time.
Yeah, he is. It's that was kind of hurting him earlier in the day too, if I'm remembering correctly. He got into some very, very bad positions in terms of the clock. But
so this
the
I
chess
can
is
just
good when he's playing it. The chess is great, but you gotta make the moves. It's 3-0. You gotta make the moves. Yeah, that
Castles
pawn's
pushes the
annoying.
pawn. It is very annoying. We cannot take without losing a piece of our own. So this is a brick in a way, unless you're ready to sacrifice something.
Which you're definitely considering right now, but black is very safe. I don't think you're ever in time with anything down that e file. So yeah, he's considering trying to luff that queen and bring her into the position again, but like there's always ways to reply to that for black. Every single one of these, you see black has a pawn move to take away the access to the squares. It's definitely an annoying position for white to try to figure out.
I'm also getting much lower. Whoa!
Yep,
Now
he's now
Universal
lower.
Tsunami is lower.
Yeah, he's trying to
under
figure
30
it out.
seconds. No increment. Got to move. Wow. Queen d3.
And he does try to go with the queen, but yeah, but you have two different ways to like very calmly stop this if you're black. Either pawn move stuffs it.
Yeah, g6 or f5.
Yeah, and you always have bishop e5 as well. If queen e4.
He plays
so
f5.
Well, assuming that not f5, but g6. But yeah.
Black to move queen d7. We talked about this before with a castle to the queen side. Bishop e5.
Threatening to
looking for detonation. Yep. There it is. Now he's threatening queen c7. If castle. Oh, either side. What a move.
Yep.
Oh, and a flag.
Yeah.
And a flag. Universal Tsunami. It doesn't matter how you get it. It matters if you got it done.
Gotta get it done.
Universal Tsunami. Getting it done in time there. Nice. It was tricky there, especially with queen c3 at this last moment. It was a very tricky move. The dual threat. Either side castles, you made it.
Explode. Okay. And here we go, game 2.
Game 2 it is. Universal Tsunami trying to do a 2-0 here. Johan looking to stop.
And knight is coming right in.
A lot of arrows there.
It's all fine.
A lot of arrows. Universal Tsunami thinking with the arrows. Whoa, he went there.
Hey, you remember
Look
the
at all
gold
that,
coin game?
man.
You know, move aside gold coin game. We got a new queen g3 right up in here. Crazy. For those of you who are fans of classic chess games, go check out the gold coin game. It's a fun one.
Beautiful.
Got a new queen g3 on here though.
And castles. And absolutely stunning where We have a very big imbalance here. Got some pieces for the queen. Open board, sort of, with at least the F file being open. Have some action, to say the
I
least.
like White's long-term pressure here quite a
Same.
lot.
Definitely like the same. I'm wondering if E4 does anything. E4 is an interesting
Yeah, I mean, you
move.
can.
I like E4.
Yeah.
Then takes, blow up both pawns. D5 takes, blow
Black
up
could always get his
both.
knight.
No, it's not enough.
No, and Black can't move his knight yet, so long as that rook is hitting that F7 pawn. But
What I was trying to
that's
do, I
so
was trying to get something with that.
yeah. So I kind of he might try to plug it that way.
Yeah, which he does. Queen
Queen
G4.
G4.
Idea, rook
Yeah, Queen
F7.
G4. You can't take because rook F7. And you're just actually threatening to take on G7 and then F7 potentially, but I mean F5 would answer that, so it's not like immediately winning or anything for White,
Oh,
as far
that's
as I
correct.
can.
Takes an F5 and
Yeah.
stop. Temporarily correct.
Yeah, but
I could have tried Queen
certainly the
H5.
pressure is building.
Mhm.
I actually really like your idea of E4 and then potentially D5 and just starting to nuke the position open. But yeah, Black is trying to control some of these open files. So there is a very
Yeah,
clear
this is
threat.
always a crazy looking move too. Like I said, maybe the threat is Queen G6 from people in chat. Queen G6, kind of. I
Nice.
mean, he could just take.
Pawn takes, removes the knight,
just
then
take
rook
it.
comes to F8, and then the king has to step up, and then
Yeah.
wherever the king steps up, the rook chases and will detonate. So that is very nice.
Okay. Bishop. Ooh, this is a nice move. I love that. Bishop F7 there. That was nice. Nice move there, bro. Because the king can't take anything. Rook takes would give him up here. Dang. Universal Tsunami is
Isn't
playing
it
out of
funny
his
how?
mind.
Yeah.
This is
And
playing
you know,
great. Go Rook B8. Doesn't matter.
he wants
Got
that
his move.
rematch. He wants that rematch.
Oh, he said Bishop D7 instead. Get more pieces off the board. I get it. I get it. Taking will eliminate both pieces, bishop and the rook.
Those. How do you? Yeah, the thing is, Black is going to answer by pushing, but then the pawns become long term.
Push
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Push. It was easy.
I'm not really.
Block the
Yeah.
file, Maybe, yeah, I already have this block with my bishop, so.
I think the other bishop is going to be able to contain the other rook, though. So.
Yeah, you can also come back to this at some point, but.
He has to try this, but then blocks. Yeah, just pushes and then
even
blockades
like
and
this.
goes and yeah.
Okay, with the bishop.
I think White's going to run out here. Run out of fuel.
C5. I can just take, close that up. Rook D7 takes. No, yeah, I'm good there
The
too.
rook
So
gets
I don't even have to do anything. It does get active, yeah. So I was just mentioning, I don't have to do anything. He does play bishop F5. I don't have to really touch anything. This could be a move
Maybe
as
even
well.
bishop C2 or bishop D3. Okay, but now you got
He
to
blows
actually
up
calculate.
both. Right.
Yeah, but now you got to calculate with C. Yeah, with the C pawn pushing in that. If you were to take the rook, then C6 could be quite problematic. So he takes care of the threat of C6.
Yeah, I just don't have enough pieces with white. That's just my problem. I just don't have enough. I just don't have enough pieces. That's it.
And even if you give up your rook for that advanced pawn, like black, well,
over here. I have
black
this
should be
one.
faster. Yeah, black is
Vicious.
faster.
This is a vicious pawn. King around is going to.
He's not even gonna. He's not even gonna worry about that. He doesn't need to style on anybody. He's just gonna do it simple. He's gonna do it simple.
Chess. I don't have to take.
Rook
F8.
Yeah. I'm a bit surprised how he's
very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, this is really calm. It's really nice.
Literally,
really
there's
nice
no
technique
way.
and just the white is gonna run out of white moves out of
and check
and then queens and it's over. Really
beautiful.
Nice.
Ooh,
he gets to.
there
It's
he
not
is.
even we get to finish with an explosion. Very nice.
With an explosion, universal.
Oh, yeah.
2 for 2. He's looking for that rematch.
He really is. My pre-tournament favorite, not looking so hot right now, unfortunately. But
He
he's
is
run
looking
into
for that
a
rematch
wall.
here.
Eduardo on fire.
Universal Tsunami is universally strong right now. He's playing very good, making it through the losers bracket. So far, he's a half a point away from actually clinching it and going to a grand final reset. With Jake from State Farm here waiting for him.
And right now we've got a nice pawn wall formed by black.
So white still is well smaller, but
always
nice
figuring out
pawn
how to
wall.
crack it. And
Yeah,
trying to figure out how
that's
to
gonna
crack
it.
Yeah.
That is gonna crack it open. Whoa, a lot of captures here. Stuff to calculate for sure.
Very nice. He's try to keep it a little locked. And maybe even use that half open F file if it comes to that. Although, yeah, knight
Knight
b5.
b5, classic move. Bishop b5 check though allows my bishop come out. He looked at c3. I was actually looking at c4. I wanted to open some stuff up. He takes though on g4. Queen g4? Yeah, not really. It doesn't really do much. Kinda. No, it doesn't do really anything. I'm not capturing anything from g4.
And you can always black can always try to like play f5 and queen g4, queen g5, and you can't detonate the queen because you'd lose your rook, your queen, and the like potentially the bishop if you capture with the bishop. So I think maybe f3 is a good square.
Yeah, it doesn't commit too much, and I am gonna probably look to put my king this way.
And you can
Black
swing your
plays
to the
bishop
queen
e7.
side as well, very quickly should things open up.
Queen d4.
Well, that's
Look at this.
That's an interesting idea.
This
Look at
one.
that detonating the knight.
Dang.
Yeah.
Right.
And getting the check, and then the king moves. He's seeing if there's anything he can do with the rook and the bishop, and that's very nice. You know, he's not that far away from making that queen d5 idea work. He's really not that, and he's trying to make that queen d5 idea work, I think.
He really is. Queen takes very strong idea here.
Yeah, if his dark square bishop can get into the game with that, he was trying to make it work, but maybe there just wasn't a way. But I love that idea. I love that creativity of queen d5 and then coming in with the bishops and getting an extra rook.
Too, and like end this too as well. Very
Oh
strong.
yeah.
Time's still the same. King f1 getting off of any real checks or any problems. So black to move. How do we proceed? King d7. I'm just looking for super blunder. That's crazy, right? Queen d7 was my idea. Maybe castling. Doing king f8. Same thing. So there's bishop h6 at some point. I'll move the rook, but I am blocking this pawn.
It feels like white should be able to exert enough pressure to break through, doesn't it?
Yeah, so now I can, but it's black's move, so he's not going to allow that. Bishop g5, both get traded off.
Yeah. But the queen could get in there very quickly. I guess black's queen can parry the threat. So like bishop g5, you would have queen e7 and queen h7 or something like that.
I might even just go queen h3 anyway.
Yeah, bishop g5 and then queen e7, queen h7 is idea, but I'm not sure. It certainly feels very precarious for black. But at the same time, you have this like kind of long-term situation with those pawns on the F and G pawns. Yeah, there we go. Those F and G pawns are like very strong as the game goes on.
You know, it sounds like you're saying, man, those F and G pawns.
Yeah.
But F and G pawns.
F and Gs.
Oh, man. This will be a huge
family
blunder
show
here as the explodes. Yes, using explosive language. Gotta be careful. No. G3. Bishop d2. No captures. Just be very careful with your captures. Knight to b4. He wants to take. Okay, we both explode there. I
You
could
can
just
get
take
material.
it. No problems.
But... Man. Tricky.
Queen e5 doesn't work anymore. I like queen h3.
No.
I am aiming. I'm just going to like run the queen up in there. But bishop h4, I guess.
The thing is,
no. G3 there?
Yeah. Queen h3, bishop h4, queen g4, and then f3.
Yeah, queen g4, and taking anything. I could take this. Oh, you want my bishop.
It's an annoying knight, though. You hate to give up your bishop.
Exactly. Yeah, Queen
I
H3. I
don't know. I
mean, I
think
knew
we're
it
gonna
was
see what we
coming.
talked about.
Oh
think we're
yeah,
gonna see
Bishop
what we talked
H4.
about here. Some
Whoa! Shoot,
oh,
we got a
Knight
checker
G2
coming.
on the menu.
Explosion.
Knight G2 on the menu.
Oh, look at him, big
Easy
dog,
mode.
right?
Yeah.
That was strong.
Ooh, suddenly,
That was
this
strong.
is that knight got real annoying. White did not want to relinquish the bishop, and maybe he regrets it a little bit.
What's real annoying
Maybe he
here is
does.
Universal Tsunami's time. Johan might be back in this thing
Oh
for
my
real.
goodness, 8
8
seconds.
seconds. Can he get it done with 8 seconds?
Bishop H4 is
8
gonna
seconds.
lock this
Very
up.
fast. Here's a
Yeah.
check. They're moving as fast as they can, threatening Bishop F7 in a way.
A lot of
He plays
look
it.
at that though.
Gets rid of the queen. G5.
Beautiful.
3 seconds. Oh, threatening mates.
Oh, mate, not mate.
Oh, it's a rip. Oh.
Oh man. And
Universal
just like that in the
Tsunami
scramble.
with 3 seconds
Very
on the
nice.
clock. Gets it
Very
done.
nice.
Punches his ticket to the grand
Oh
final
my
reset
goodness.
to take on Jake from State Farm. That is his actual username, guys. That's what we can call him that. But we're gonna have a heavyweight matchup here, and he's gonna get another shot here, him meaning Universal Tsunami, to take on Jake from State Farm here. Greg, take us to a break, man, before we get back to this grand final, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be whoop.
We'll be back.
Did we already?
You, huh? No, we're about to go right now, Greg.
Okay,
Greg.
cool. My bad.
We'll be back.
We're about to go a break. Don't go anywhere.
That's right.
We have some ChatGPT questions for you, so you're just gonna hold them, read them, and answer them.
Okay. Oof. Chess is often described as a game of deep strategy. How do you stay focused and avoid burnout after intense training sessions or games? I think like having a break from chess sometimes, because if you're just playing nonstop, which I sometimes tend to do, you can really get burned out and then lose motivation, and then you sit at the board wondering why you're there, and that's usually a bad sign for your chess. So definitely taking a break sometimes. What was the moment you realized you could become one of the top chess players in the world? I think that it was a kind of a process that took a while for me after my teenage years, because there were moments when I was not so confident and when I wasn't sure about my improvement. And then probably like the pivotal moment was 2012, when I did really well in a tournament and I rose in the rankings in the Tata Steel tournament in 2012. And then after that, things kind of went well for that year, and that was probably the moment. But I was already between 19 and 20 that year, and I had already like had success, but there's definitely a difference between having success and then having the success to become one of the best players. In your view, what separates the world's best players from the rest? I think a lot is very circumstantial too. And it's like very fine details. So it's not like one specific thing. A lot of it is, psychological things like being able to deal with disappointments and losses, which come inevitably, and also motivation, which is very individual. But you really need that motivation to stay, just even to play and not to get depressed. Playing chess tournament after tournament, sometimes dealing with a lot of disappointments, sometimes having a lot of successes. Don't get too down on yourself when you're doing badly. That's definitely a big part of it. But there's like a million details. You've had a career that spans so many years. What has been the most significant evolution you've noticed in your own game over time? Well, I think for me, it's probably different for everyone. But as I've gotten more experience and a bit older, I've definitely gotten a bit more intuitive and perhaps also lost a bit of the intensity that I had when I was younger and maybe a bit weaker and lacked the understanding, but compensated a bit more with intensity. So that's a bit of a trade-off, I think, for players who have played for a long time. If you could change one rule or aspect of competitive chess, what would it be and why? I don't know what I would change. I would definitely change never-ending tiebreaks, so we don't have any split world championships anymore.
Welcome to How to Reassess Your Chess, the fantastic book that was written by the late Jeremy Silman. He recently passed away, but he has left a legacy of the concept of the imbalances that he elucidates so very well. This concept is really a game changer. Once you hear it, you can't really ever get it out of your head. A 1500 player didn't like to just attack, but Silman beat it into his head. Listen, you've got to attack when the king is stuck in the middle of the board. Looks like he might be able to take it back, but he said, no can do. Black decided to play bishop to c3, dropping a queen sack on the board. What kind of move is that? We see a mate threat that cannot be stopped, and of course, if you take the queen, rook takes, and mate on a stick. This is how Jeremy Silman's students play? Man, that's the kind of teacher you want to have.
We got Eduardo and Liam, and it is a rematch. We had them in the semifinals play each other, which Jake from State Farm or Liam Hereford took 3-1. Let's take a look at how they got here.
Yeah, let's see how they got here, in fact. So, as we see, we can see that Johan came all the way through the winner's bracket there with really no resistance from anyone, in fact. And maybe a little bit. Did he lose a game? I'm trying to see there. Did he even lose a game there, Craig?
Liam lost are you talking about the losers bracket? Where are you talking about?
Sorry. Liam there. No, I'm looking at Liam. I'm looking at Liam here. Liam went 3-3, and then he had a draw. So, yeah, Liam was just on a tear. Jake from State Farm here has been absolute beast all the way throughout. And then, of course, his opponent there, who had one loss, I think two actually, Jake from State Farm there. Yeah, so he lost to Jake. That's insane. And then he wants that back. So, actually, no, Liam did lose one. He lost one game, I see. Okay, so made it through. Liam almost on a heater, like all the way through, being very, very good at what he does here in this format. And the only one second to him, in a way, probably like a 51-49, is Eduardo there, who is actually Universal Tsunami.
Mm-hmm.
Big rematch.
And Eduardo's been playing, and sometimes you wonder, like that bye week in some sports, like do you cool off? Do you are you in the rhythm? So you kind of wonder, like, is Eduardo going to be able to have a bit of an edge here versus Liam, who has to kind of jump back into this? I wonder if Liam was playing on the break just to stay, or if he was enjoying his rest.
Well, you know what, guys? In fact, this is all time. Place your predictions, chat. Is it 51-49? Or, of course, or is it 50-50? Who do you have? Is it going to be Universal Tsunami or Jake from State Farm? This is it, the grand final, 4 games. And, of course, if Universal Tsunami wins, well, he forces what they call the grand final reset. So that means it'll be actually facing again. They may face off again with more Atomic Chess.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
we got a pretty standard position on the board. A queen sitting there on h4.
Yeah, pretty standard, Queen just hanging.
On g3, yeah, just hanging out.
And it's White's move, actually. So White can actually take this queen right now.
Bit troublesome, though. knight comes in quick. You might have to give
I
your
was
queen
just thinking
back.
that Queen H5.
Yeah. so-
Queen
Yeah, and then you
H5.
just
What a
ignore
move!
it.
Like, oh
Knight
my
comes to
goodness.
e4.
Man,
Yeah, this is pretty
what
standard
are y'all
stuff. This
doing?
Look, this is if you don't like this, I don't know what to say. Like this is why you want to play atomic chess. This position right here. And we got what better time to have a position like this than in the finals. Like this is
Yeah.
beautiful.
I mean, yo, seriously? Like, look at all this. I mean, crazy. Everything hanging. All this stuff hanging.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't matter. Okay, it does. You do need to calculate here. It's pretty standard stuff. Says Pepelu, exactly. Queen
Absolutely.
H5,
Absolutely.
obviously. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, come
Right?
on.
Obviously. What's not obvious is Universal Tsunami's time. I mean, I know we just got here. But is he really at
Yeah.
1 minute, or am I missing something here?
Yeah, that's a bit of a I was
No, he's
wondering if in
really at
fact
1
we would
minute.
yeah. I wondered if we were gonna see the inverse of this where Jake's flexing that rested brain of his here. He's moving fast, moving quick, like moving strong. So yeah,
No, Jake is
maybe he
in
did this.
great form. He locked in,
Yeah.
moving. Look how much time you're up. You 30 seconds to play a game like this too. You have the queen. You probably are better here as black, and I mean definitely as Universal Tsunami's time keeps pushing here. I mean this is a rough start for Universal Tsunami here against Jake from State Farm, trying to this is a rematch too as well. So a lot of sometimes maybe psych or emotion could be another thing is you want to get back and win, but it's difficult when you are facing a strong Jake from State Farm and you have no time, literally a 2-minute time edge. I'm already giving this one to Jake.
Yeah, this is really hard to imagine coming back as white here with 15 seconds on the clock, like and ticking down. What happened here?
I don't know. Like it felt like we were here and then we weren't. Like
Yeah.
we were here talking and then the clock just ran out. Like
4
he was
seconds.
sinking
Yeah,
the whole
like
game.
I mean
Just thought too
it's
much this
also lost
game.
on the board. It's also lost on the board. So
That's it. Jake from State Farm with a
Yeah.
clean dub, quite convincing as
That
we have
was
a rematch here.
that was not the start I anticipated. Although we got a great position to
Same.
enjoy, the complications were too much and the clock. Oof.
Okay,
Clock really was his enemy.
he's definitely played this before. You see how fast he's moving? Like this
Mhm.
is just theory that
He's
he has
happy.
played a bunch of times. We've seen this position actually before too as well.
Quite a
by the
few
way.
times, yeah. And again, this is one of those positions where you're not giving up the queen for the minors. It's not worth it for white. That you leave the tension.
This is
And
theory we've seen. Take
yep,
now
we've
it's
seen
now
knight
it's
and
possible. Yeah, because
yeah.
of taking in.
Yep.
This we've already been in this position.
We've
Exactly.
been here. We've been here.
Ooh, threatening Queen F8 if Bishop moves. Takes.
King.
I could go back. Queen E5 check. What does this actually do? What is your threats? I mean, or move. I guess Rook F6. You don't have to respond
Yeah.
to check.
No.
Is there a Rook F1? No, but
No, because yeah. Exactly.
Queen G7 or something like that.
Hmm.
Okay, what is the move
No,
here? Jake's trying to
he's in
figure
the
this
think
out.
tank again. He's in the think tank again.
Queen F7 move. Queen F7 is a move, but I guess you just
It
you'd
is. You
get
give
the
it up
bishop
and
and the rook
then
here.
we might see that. You do get to the F file and you get your queen back, presumably.
C7 maybe play with it, but
I don't like that one.
Rook out. I don't like that one either. F1
Yeah,
is
Rook
quite an
F1,
annoying
so-
move, bro. That's
Yeah.
a big move.
I do like Queen F7, and I think we might get. I mean, I'm surprised he's taking this long to make a decision after what happened. Like we saw what happened last game, but Queen F7 trades Rook F1. I think you get your. I think Black has to give the queen for the rook as the rook enters.
Gives it back. Rook F1, Rook F8.
He
Yeah,
goes
so he's
for
going this
knight
route.
knight B5.
B5.
Yeah.
Take pawn gone. Have some
Mhm.
comp. Smooth, very smooth time edge for Universal Tsunami, looking to bounce back after the first game lost there.
Yeah.
With White trying to strike himself here and not let Jake from State Farm run
Just
away.
run away with this thing.
Exactly. He's like, not today. Hold on.
No,
But of course,
I'm
he is
not done
guaranteed
yet.
that one of these guys are guaranteed already first and second prize fund though, which is
Oh
nice.
yeah.
So you already get some cash for the day. Awesome
750
day.
and 500 respectively.
750 and 500.
So even if you'd end up in second, you have 500 reasons to be okay with it.
You know what I mean?
Not so bad. Not so bad.
So bad. Not so bad.
Yeah, White's. This is a very tense position. unsurprising. I feel like a broken record. I still like White's
Oh,
pressure
dang,
here.
that's a nice move with the threat of,
Yeah.
queen's one of these.
Mm-hmm.
Nice little threat there. Taking on d1. Maybe just might move knight bishop.
We're getting down there for Jake. He's about to drop under a minute as well. We definitely got to keep an eye on the clocks.
Is it the white pieces having the problems here? Generally, that's
White
not the
pieces.
case.
Yeah, I
White
mean,
pieces having problems?
yeah.
Generally not the case, but we are in a different format. Changes everything.
We are, and
wow,
and the
big time
stakes
edge.
cannot get higher. So every move is at a premium.
Big time is. Why not queen takes rook? You're right actually. Why are we missing that? Just queen takes rook.
Well, now queen takes rook.
And then
You
queen
can't play
takes,
rook
it would
f1
be
because of
takes. Everything would
you got to
explode.
be. There's no longer rook f1 because of bishop g2.
Yeah, that's kind of annoying. We are just up material, I guess. Jake is
Yeah.
actually just up a rook here, so
Yeah,
we can
I mean, he just has to
use
get it
that.
in the game.
Yeah, he just said it now, right? Yeah, I'm
And
up a rook, but I
not-
need to use it. Okay,
Black
that's a
is going to
nice
get his
check
queen
there.
active, though.
D4,
Yeah, Black
excellent move.
He's going to try.
Excellent move. Whoa. Hold on.
Hold on,
Takes
indeed.
F8 would explode, and there's no rook F1 with bishop D2. Correct. Bishop B2, castle queenside. This paper Lou in chat, that should be something I'm always a fan of in all time control.
Yeah, we do love that.
Too. We do love that. Queen E2 is a threat.
Is White just busted? White's just busted.
I was just about to say that. Queen E2, can you go?
White's just busted, isn't he? You block, and now
Ooh, that was nice.
You think you're just
Oh,
busted? Oh my gosh!
Mr. CA resigns.
No, yeah.
Oh,
He's just
Universal
busted.
Tsunami making
He's just
this a
busted.
game.
Okay.
1-1, boys.
Woo!
1-1.
Love to see
Whoever
it.
can win with
Love
white
to see it.
apparently is going to have an
Okay.
edge here.
We got straight theory. We've seen this before. Make those pawn walls. Get the knight to b5. Open up that. Try to open up that light diagonal. We've seen all this. Knight comes to c7.
All of this.
We've seen all of this. Us and chat, we're all becoming pros before, before the day's done.
That's crazy. Everybody getting better at atomic chess. We have atomic chess arenas in my next stream.
Learn from the best. These guys are among the best.
30-second atomic chess. Let's go.
Oh man, 30-second. I love that.
30
Let's
second
go.
atomic chess is
I will
diabolical.
put that in as the suggestion for next year.
Diabolical.
That is some D-gen time control, just so you know. Love it.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So A3, yeah, just keeping things flexible, I believe. Making the pawn wall is something we've seen a lot today. Is a very good strategy, is making the wall of pawns. At some points.
He is trying to get that knight in, so you have to take. But honestly, that partially open G file maybe gives some long-term ideas for white. Pretty, there are a lot of ways black can close down the bishop D3 or queen D3, rook G1 stuff, but there could be ideas against using that G file. Potentially. We'll see.
Potentially, yes. Yes, absolutely.
We'll see. There's a lot of life left in this game. That knight remains incredibly annoying on C7. Black has a mess to unwind his pieces, but he is doing all right. I think you push, yeah?
Oh, yeah, pushing. We've seen this time and time again. Pushing was generally better, restricting a lot of pieces, and you are going to have to give up a lot. He didn't like this, but I understand. Yes. Oh, you just want to open. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, you're saying,
himself.
yeah.
Yeah, pawn takes, that pawn's gone, so maybe there's queen h4 there. If pawn takes this way, then this one opens up too. Queen h4 might still be open. Rook takes obviously loses the rook, so
yeah.
Nice move.
Okay, yeah, just
that's fair then.
More pressure. More in the center. Okay. White is going to make these pawns roll. If black doesn't, yeah, but white's going to also be rolling with these pawns potentially. Oh, what a move!
Wait, wow.
How do you stop that rook from entering?
Rook G8.
Yeah, how do you stop? This is
there. It is rook G8, and is rook
knight
where
knight
now?
Knight takes pawn. Knight takes
Oh,
pawn.
knight takes e6. It does
Yeah.
explode every. Yeah, it does.
Why are we not? Why is this game still going? Am I crazy? Have I
Yeah,
lost my
knight takes
mind?
e6.
Okay.
Oh,
All
dang.
right, we get there. We get there. Maybe he was just
Versus
enjoying it.
tsunami.
Maybe he stopped for a moment. He grabbed his drink. He took a long pull from it. He's like, I got this. I don't need to play it immediately. Just relaxing.
That was beautiful. I'm not gonna lie, what a
Yeah.
combination. And I think we've seen this before from Universal Tsunami. We also saw a diabolical combination earlier from Jake from State Farm that he played some vicious combination. And we just seen the same from Universal Tsunami here. So it really is, I believe, like a 49-51, depending on who gets what
It's
color or
close.
whatever. It's very close here.
Ooh.
Queen C3. Wait a second.
These
Is it
kind of
that
moves
close?
are just wait.
Oh, you're exploding.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
takes.
Yeah,
Yep.
wow. Nice.
Takes.
I love these sorts of positions. They're just too fun. They're just too
Now
fun.
Black's is up a piece. Dang, caught him with a tactino. That's
He
tough.
sure did. But those
That's
pawns,
tough.
like the piece, as
He
good
does
as the
have
piece
some
is,
pawns.
that F pawn in particular, you got to look at that F pawn as like potentially a piece on its own because
Yeah.
you have to stop it. Like there's a lot of positions where that F pawn just becomes unchanged. So you either have to commit your extra piece to blocking it or to sack on it. So like
Or the
I'm not
sack on the
sure
same
that
time.
yeah. That
That's
F pawn
true.
is very dangerous.
We have seen a lot of that lately here, and you can't really touch any of the pawns without exploding
Yeah.
yourself unless it's with the pawn. So
Mhm.
Bishop B2, kind of attacking the rook, kind of. Should we move it?
I mean, that kind of goads White into playing F4, yeah.
He does want to play F4. He plays D4 instead. Try to get rid of this bishop. Totally understand. Pawn takes opens up the bishop a little bit more.
But that bishop will chill on B2. We've seen this before too. You can't develop
Seen a
that
lot.
knight though. Yeah, F4 naturally. I think this is just a very simple plan for White.
Yeah, F4, F5, F6, maybe castles possible. F7, very strong idea. Yeah, I like F5 now.
Chat says still theory.
Right? We're good. Yeah, still theory, Pebaloo.
Still theory.
Still theory, boys and girls. Okay. Castle, queenside. That's a good move. Can I get here? Not really possible. Can I get here? I can. I can do this.
Well,
1, 2, 3. There he is. He's going for the
knight
flag.
takes, knight takes pawn, right? But then the B file opens up, and suddenly you've got a new problem.
I think he wants a C file. Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Open up the B file. Problematic. Clock to move. What's the time situation? Universal Tsunami. Okay. Now 20 seconds. Quite even here. Jake from State Farm looking to strike back. Gonna strike back. Oh, and he kind of has to. Because
he does.
Ooh, you have to win. This isn't like
Yeah.
I can play around. Oh, but then this would be a grand final reset.
It would be reset. So technically, you
still,
don't want to play
technically,
around.
yeah. Correct.
Yeah,
Technically,
Eduardo has been
It
chomping
does
at
suck.
the bit to get back here.
and he has. I think he got nicely warmed up through the losers bracket there and was
That's
able
the
to come
thing.
back.
And
He got more reps in.
I don't even though those pawns are intimidating, I gotta like
Mm-hmm.
the activity of the pieces for black here.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, in real chess,
Yeah.
Rooks, this is not somewhere you want to be. But okay, Castles, he's out of the way. Good job. Oh, that's a good move. That's a great move. A lot of stuff on pre here.
Yeah. A lot of things looking to explode. That's a great move, of course.
Boom.
Those pawns, though, the more pieces come off, the more those pawns are happy.
They are very strong, as we've seen before. Pawns get very strong,
Yeah.
then we queen and we win. Wait,
As
30
I-
seconds.
that's
Universal
some-
Tsunami. This is not over yet.
It is not.
This
It
is
is
not
over.
over, boys and girls.
Eduardo with a 2-1 lead right now. Okay.
Not over yet.
I have to take him off the board. Yeah, get rid of that guy. I don't know. The more the pieces come off, the more that F pawn just looms. Yeah.
Vicious, as we know, we've seen many times before that one pawn ties down everything. You have to sacrifice on it or or let it
Blockade, and
queen.
your
That's
king
not what
can't.
we want. A blockade too, so yeah.
We got the turbo opposition, so nothing to do there.
Turbo opposition, 3 check turn.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and the chess and a atomic chess turn as well.
Yeah, tough. You know, like
I think
part
anything
of the
is a
brain
standoff
still
everywhere.
like doesn't your brain still like see knight knight f3 and okay.
Yeah,
But
absolutely. Knight f3. My brain sees
and here we
rook
go.
d4, like all the pieces
You're
hanging.
just
But everything
trying.
you take,
It's
you
not.
blow up. Yeah, you can't
Yeah.
touch anything.
You
Everything's a mine here.
can't
Like
touch
anything you
this.
touch, you blow up. Everything is
Rook
untouchable.
e8 will come for black. This is yeah, he has to stop rook e8 with bishop e2 e7. Okay, so you can't play bishop e7 if the rook doesn't go to e8. Black says
That's a
what's
good
the big
move.
idea?
Wheel
Oh
snaps.
wow.
Wait, what?
The minors
Oh,
versus
what a
the rook is
move.
enough to lock it up. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Oh my
nice. That was a
gosh.
beautiful move.
I wonder if your rook comes. Okay.
Did another way.
Let's
Oh, wait,
see.
he
Now
got no
black's
time.
got pawn.
Jake from State Farm. You can do
Oh my
anything. It doesn't
gosh.
matter what I do.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
game over. Jake from State Farm
Jake,
says, I'm
yeah.
still here. I'm
He's
still
taking
here.
it
This is it.
2-2.
Will it be
Yeah.
a grand final reset or will it be Jake from State Farm? Chat.
We're gonna get
Place your
theory.
bets and your predictions now.
Oh, we go for this sideline with f5. This is not the main line of knight f3 stuff here. This tricky f5 thing. There's ideas here to trick white. Like white's not going to fall for any of the tricks, but this is a very trappy line for black, even though it's not considered to be as good as f6. This is the other reply to knight f3, and black is going to get a very interesting sharp game. So he came here to play. Like he's not going down any of those main theoretical lines where white is slightly better. He is happy to go into this trappy, tricky line and try to get this win.
Jake from State Farm is going for it. As this could be the final game. This could be the final game. Check. G3 happens. Stuff you've seen already. Lots of tactics. Cool. Now we got a queen trade. And now we have a queen trade.
Yeah, still that black king. Just, I mean, at the end of the day, one of the reasons that this is maybe not the way you want to play with black is you can start to see a lot of ideas spring up on the board for white here towards getting towards that black king very quickly. And with the queens off, where is black's play coming? So for now, black's holding. But I think that I would definitely prefer white's position here myself. And I mean, Eduardo would love to force that reset. So
yeah, he's looking for that. Half a point goes through, guys. Half a point goes through. Okay, that's it. Half a point wins it all. Well, actually, okay, if Universal Tsunami wins, yeah, exactly, sudden death, right, kind of thing. Grand final reset, as they call it. Chat is saying a chess tournament where all insurance agents make it happen. Geico versus State Farm versus Progressive. Yeah, that would be sweet. That would be funny.
They're not. I don't think any of them are sponsoring us, so I don't need to say anything about any of them, one way or the other.
One playing a bundle gambit.
But hey, if you're out there and you're one of these insurance providers,
wait, who won? White won.
Shoot, we looked away for a moment at the chat.
That's it. He just resigned.
Oh
he's
my
out of there.
Let's go.
And it's a grand final reset. I wanted to
it is.
Immediately.
It is a reset. They might get a moment just to remind everyone.
Yeah, that's true.
You love to see it. You love to see it. This is, without a doubt, our two best players from this bracket. You love to see them draw blood, and we're going to get that reset.
Wow. Well, let's take a look at the bracket here. Boom. There it is. Eduardo, a.k.a. Universal Tsunami, takes down Liam Hereford, a.k.a. Jake from State Farm. He's going to be mad about that one. So it's a grand final reset, meaning that extra life, well, now you can use it. It clearly is a sudden death now, as whoever wins this next match will be the Atomic Chess champion. So here we go. We got ourselves a short break, guys, and we'll be back in a few minutes with just heard it. Never mind. In fact, they are going to play right into it. So lots of times that it's not a bad thing. Because like if I'm losing, you want the break to reset.
Yeah, you do. You want to get your brain set. Where's that guy from chat who was saying we don't get breaks? Good for him. Yeah, you get what he wants.
Right.
He gets what
you
he
don't
wants.
get breaks. You don't need to breathe. But yeah, in fact, Jake is not going to have any time to breathe here as Universal Tsunami is on him. So another grand final reset here. Sometimes, especially when you are losing, you want to have that small break to stop the bleeding, as they say. If I'm losing or I'm not, it's not going my way. but it is reset here. So we're gonna wait for the games, guys. Yeah, no breaks. We're going right back to it, chat. Exactly. Wait for the
Could not ask
next
for
one.
more. Love the reset. If it was 51-49 before, it's 50-50 now.
It's definitely
You know?
50-50.
Mm-hmm.
He can't handle tsunamis. Go State Farm. I guess that's not covered in insurance, huh? Tsunamis
Oh
are
yeah,
not covered.
that might
Jake
be under
doesn't
Act
cover
of
that.
God. I don't know.
That's true. That's true. On breaks even when I'm winning. Yeah, I understand. That break helps because you get to reset and like breathe. All right, I can do this. You talk to yourself. But when it's happening, in the meantime, it's just hard to reset like that. Games are coming in a bit, guys. So cool. What do you think is going to happen here? I think I'm going to give my hot take here. I think it's going to be a nail biter where I'm going to say Jake from State Farm. That's what I'm saying. Now, you can obviously pick either or because sometimes, if I pick one, you have to pick the other. I think Jake from State Farm slightly, comes through in a nail biter action. What about you?
So because Eduardo starts with the white pieces, I'm going to give him the ever slightest edge. That and the fact the dude is hotter than a Texas parking lot right now. Like, he fought all the way through the losers bracket. He got that reset. I feel like that momentum's going to carry Eduardo in a close one.
That's a good call there. As they did slow down here a little bit out of the opening. They played a little bit different here. So far, 4 games, guys. This is it. This is it. Who do you have? Who do you have in chat? But this looks more regular opening wise. This looks like a standard opening, something with. That's funny. Like no pawns are gone. Like, but the knight is gone, and obviously F2.
Yep.
That happened. Okay, knight A6. I go A3 maybe. I will take. I guess I lose my knight too. Who cares? Fine with that. 95. I like E3 too. I do want to get off this check and then get out the way with the castle. Definitely like that. E3, bishop B5 check. Castle's next. I'm not afraid of C6. You lose your knight as well. There we go. Tsunami on the move. Oh, man, he did this last time. I don't know. It's something with the white pieces. They just having trouble with white
Yeah,
here.
I'm not really familiar with this position. If it is theory, I'm not so familiar. He does go for queen to get that queen active. I guess you just go E6 for black, right? No, I think you just
E6.
call him.
How do they respond with queen B5? Maybe just C6. Oh yeah, I can't take anything. Yeah, it just
just
explodes.
call him.
So yeah,
he just
E6.
goes E6.
Nothing to do.
Nothing to do. And I think we just have, like, for atomic standards, a fairly even position here, which maybe is. I'm not sure which player prefers that. I mean, obviously, like white tends to be the favorite, but it's no clear cut thing. And I think black should be very happy with how this opening has gone. Yeah, he's going to get very nice pieces.
Okay, so I'm moving my queen, but where? Queen.
I mean, you have to go B5, right? You could technically.
X6. That's kind of annoying. I can't touch anything. I guess I have to go queen A4. I take C2, king F2. Oh, that loses.
Well,
I takes E3. Oh, but he would.
I mean, is queen F5 impossible?
Queen F5.
Yeah, queen F5. So like
everything explodes. He goes knight G5 instead with knight F7.
G5.
That's same thing. Ooh, vicious move.
Yeah.
That was
and
sick.
Then that's what
Same idea.
Okay. Just stick it in there. Okay. Oh. It's kind of scary though.
Oh, bishop E2.
That's scary.
For both sides.
Scary. I'm sweating.
What
I'm sweating.
the heck is this? Can I do this and then
Yeah.
take? Or is that unnecessary? Bishop G2, he says.
Yeah,
a lot of stuff just got lost there. Takes, trades off. Who has what? Oh, you can't. Exactly.
Black, yeah.
You can't do anything with the king. You can't
Yeah.
take anything. He was made it.
Ooh,
he was
that is
made
nice.
Like in a crazy type of bishop here. Like, ooh, good stuff.
Well,
rematch coming up.
Yeah, rematch coming up. Your pick is looking good.
Jake from State Farm. with the
Yeah.
coming in hot with the dub.
With that discount double check. Shout out chat for that one.
Nice. Discount double check.
Okay. Yep, queen's come off. We've seen this kind of thing before. Oh, he keeps it on. Nice.
Keeps
And you
him
can't take.
on.
So you can't take because the knight detonates and you have bishop d2.
Boom.
There it is.
Time to take with. Maybe knight. All right. Does there have any other moves that I've been seeing exactly something like
Seeing a lot
bishop
of bishop
d3?
d3, yeah. We've been seeing a
I
lot of
like
bishop
that.
d3.
I do like this.
Just queens casually hanging out, threat pawns. You know, it's all good. It's all good.
Look,
Just
guys,
atomic.
don't
We're
try this at
chilling.
home.
We're very
The first
chill
hour
here.
was like my brain is like, yo,
Yeah.
I can't do this. But then, you get used to it. Just game after game, guys. Game after game. Every format or every variant is like that. What's your favorite variant? You would say, Greg?
Considering we're doing the Atomic Chess Championship, I'm gonna go with Atomic, but but
Okay.
there's a lot of great ones, and 960 freestyle chess is
That's my
on the
favorite for
rise.
sure. Yeah.
It's a ton of fun. We just
Love
added
960.
Freestyle Fridays. We have a community event
Right.
for non-titled players. Titled players have been duking it out every Friday as well. There's the Weisenhouse stuff, the Paris stuff. Like, there's a lot of great freestyle. So, if you're a fan of variants and you haven't checked 960 out, that's crazy, but go do it.
What do
Atomic
you
is
like,
great.
chat? What's your favorite, chat? What do you like? What is your favorite chess variant if you play any of them? If you play them. Okay, so this is a crazy game. I'm only missing my queen. Knight takes, like, detonate immediately. So, let me just take your queen, right? Oh, no, I lose two things around it. Bughouse is the best, says Chuck Moulton. Of
Bughouse is a
course.
ton of fun.
Bughouse is fire. I'm not going to lie. It is a fire game. It's fun. I love playing myself. That's my number 2, though. 960, then Bughouse.
The number 1, yeah.
Duck Chess, though, I didn't like it. I liked Duck Chess. It was fun, but it wasn't my favorite.
I'll never forget when Duck Chess was like coming onto the scene, and Eric Rosen used the term quackdicks.
Oh yeah, quackdicks.
I just can't. Yeah, I can't not think of that when I think of Duck Chess. This is we got ourselves a crazy position here.
We absolutely do. I mean, look at the pawn wall here, which is generally a good sign from the player with the pawn wall here. And let's say the time difference, the universal tsunami down a bunch of time here, and white is not really in a lot of trouble, to be honest. I have a pawn wall, I have pieces guarded, I'm just missing the queen here. Angelina in chat says 4-player chess. That's kind of easy clap. Yikes. Ill. 4-player chess. No, I'm kidding. 4-player chess was okay. I actually only played like twice. So
there was a club that I used to go down to.
Games in there.
It's a great variant. It like team or everyone free for all. Like, there was a club out in North Carolina, out in New Bern, that did 4 chess every week. There's a great chess scene out in North Carolina, so why not have a great variant scene too?
True. That's true.
Do you like white more than black here?
I do, bro. I like the pieces. I like the piece play that I have. But it's not okay. Well, especially with his clock, Universal Tsunami should probably just resign. I mean, bro, you got 14 seconds here, man.
Bro, yeah,
you can't do this. You just don't have any time unless you got a mate. He's figuring out some type of mating idea, but that's impossible with what we have going on. I mean, the pawn wall.
Yeah, I don't see any way through, and I think that white just literally has to make some neutral move.
That's it. Yeah, he just makes some knight d3, move. Just shuffle pieces. Don't hang anything.
Yeah, just don't give up mate.
Right, don't give up mate.
So he's about to go up 2-0 then.
Even a3. Yeah, there we go.
Probably.
Plays b3.
Black has to come up with something real fast, literally. 5 seconds to come up with
3
something.
seconds, 2 seconds, and white wins. He just resigns.
Yeah.
Literally just resigns. Jake from State Farm with a 2-piece out of nowhere. Now he's like, I'm still here. Jake from State Farm.
He's like, settle down.
Exactly. Settle down.
I'm still king
Catch
here.
this policy. Okay, let me run you through the terms and conditions, because it's about to get crazy here.
We're about to see knight d4, c6, knight b5, etc., which we talked about earlier. We are. We're going to go down the absolute main line. knight b5, and then obviously takes queen h5, g6, queen b5,
Yeah,
knight
and queen
c6, queen
b6.
d6. You can't take. King f7 is the second best move. Queen c7 is there, and bishop b4. So
And now theoretical.
this is not this is theory, but it's not the absolute main line. This is the way black can try to play for more, because if you go down the other way, where you allow bishop d7, king f7, or king f7 and bishop d7 with white,
Yeah.
black also gets rook a2 at the end, and you end up with a position where white has very powerful pawns. Black has an extra a piece, but the pawns tend to tell. So like mostly
Yeah.
black players try to avoid the absolute main line for that reason.
Very
in
important to
favor of this.
understand. That's pretty good. 'Cause especially with
Mhm.
the rook a2 idea too. It's just strong. Man, it's a
Mhm.
legend. There you go. So we need a drink. No wind, water, fire, flood will stop
Yeah.
Jake. Exactly.
Yeah, and
I
this is
mean, I
good.
just get
I
out the
think you're
way. I
happy if
love
you're
getting the king safe.
I think you're happy if you're white, but you're also happy if you're black here. This is
Either
this
way.
is a fighting position.
I'm not happy with his universal tsunami's time. As we've seen this
Oh
before, we've said it
gosh.
again. I mean, he's
Yeah.
already getting down quite a bit of time here
Yeah, he is.
already. I mean 20 seconds or so, but he's been down time almost every game except the first game with white when he flipped there.
Yep.
Where, universal tsunami had some more time. Okay. B6. I should probably get castled. He plays f5. I like to break this
Try
up.
to
Nice
shatter
move,
that wall.
threatening. Yeah, all of this
Shatter
stuff.
that wall.
Get rid of it. The castle next.
Tear
Why
down
not
the
just take the
wall.
bishop? The problem here is this is atomic chess. So after taking the bishop, you actually blow up yourself. And I think the knight
Mhm.
loses.
And it's gonzo.
in-
No such thing as on pre.
Yeah.
Everything is booby trapped.
Everything is booby trapped here.
Mm-hmm. So white has squares he wants to get to, but I don't see like a great way to quickly get to them, unfortunately for him. Okay, so he goes for castles, and he says that's how I'm going to get in there. But this, of course, comes with some risk as well. Yeah.
Ooh, okay, I can't
Some
take. I
risk.
could check, but it doesn't really do much. Maybe just knight g6, really.
Mhm.
He goes for it. What knight g6?
Yeah, it's the right move, but
Black resigns. Dang, he just got up out of there. I
wait,
mean,
what
he
if
really didn't like his position. I'm trying to figure out too what was
knight
the
g6
next.
and then
Or maybe rook. Doesn't that
oh
explode
rook
this?
yeah, it's over, and then the queen gets in. Nice.
Like,
Woof.
queen gets in or something? Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Rook f6,
Yeah,
right?
very nice. Just rook
Ooh,
f6.
boy, that was some heat. And also
Yeah,
knight
easy,
g6.
easy.
Yeah, the knight's going. That was some heat. Jake
Good
from
call.
State Farm. So is it
Yeah.
2-1?
Rook f6
2-1 now or 2-2? It's 2-1.
Yep, 2-1. 2-1. Eduardo hanging in there. Maybe he wants to force another sudden death. Wouldn't that be something?
No, yo, that would be crazy. Another sudden death, boys and girls.
Okay, so
Trade of the queens there.
here we go.
Explosion.
We've seen this before. We know what we're up to. Yep. But props to both these players, like for keeping their cool. Eduardo for fighting back, but Liam for just, generally dominating the whole day. So
Yeah.
definitely deserving, and they'll be walking away with $750 and $500 respectively.
Very nice.
So not
It's a,
bad for
good day's work.
oh yeah.
What do you say? I got that meme. It's not much, but it's an honest day's work.
day's
Have you ever seen that movie? That meme, guys, from Instagram? If you've seen it.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness. Honest day's work. Okay. All right. Whoa. Universal Tsunami back into his ways, as we know. He spends his
Losing
time
down a minute on the
and
clock.
a minute on the clock, right? But he did well. I mean, he found the right moves with white in the last game here, as he had queens on the board. Here, having queens off the board, it makes it a little bit easier to make some moves.
Mhm.
But maybe not for Universal Tsunami, as he traded queens and proceeded to move actually slower.
Black's gonna be down
see what happens.
material too.
That is
Like,
true. He is down that piece that will help you being actually no, he's not down a piece, is he?
He's
3, 4,
gonna
5,
be
3,
if
4?
he has an opportunity here. I'm not sure if it's best though.
What you looking at?
Knight takes, like a7 or c7.
Oh yeah. Just to blow open some stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not sure. That knight is really well placed. It almost hurts to trade away such a nice, beautiful active knight, but there are other things going on too. You know.
Here we go.
Yep.
Knight d6. I like.
Yeah, I do too.
I like. Fancy way of giving it up. Explode around you. E3, E4, Knight C3.
You want those fiend shadowed
E4
bishops?
would be it.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Garbage.
Garbage?
Sorry, I've been watching your streams, you know.
Yeah,
Remember
the button, the garbage button.
The button. I love that button.
Hit the button.
Hit the button.
Knight C3. I take exactly with pawn. Okay, and now takes. There's a trade. Knight to C3. Develop pieces. Bishop B2 or D2 coming next. We've seen a lot of action down the long diagonals like this. So probably this way.
Looking all right. Anybody's game still. Anybody's game still. That pawn, that D pawn looks trash right now, but you never know when it could spring to life for black as well.
Rook C8 hitting the knight. And actually, you don't have to move it at all because it is protected by itself.
By itself. Yeah, it's protected by itself.
Protected by itself. Don't try this at home.
Yeah.
This is atomic chess. So that will blow up. We've seen this
Knight
idea
C6,
a lot.
You know, Knight C6 is fine.
Still protected by himself. Knight of 6. 38 seconds. Wait, Jake from State Farm trying to close out. Will he get it? This is it. This could be it for Jake from State Farm. He could really make it happen right here in the next few moves. Rook C1. Oh, I'm about to say, can I just take this? Resignation on the spot? I don't know if he blundered or mouse slipped or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if he blundered or something. But White has this very nice initiative going. I can't really touch anything yet.
Pawn.
Wait. This pawn. Can I unpassant?
Yeah, because the knight can't actually force the mate, and then
I can't do
the rook
anything.
is always the rook can't get in. I don't know. Black is just gonna.
Right. This is.
Black might just
scary.
tie this up right now.
He just lost now. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I think he just ties it up. Yeah.
He did opposite. King moves.
Yeah, the pawns.
Powerful. Right, very nice move by the way. Rook C1. If Rook takes, they both explode.
That knight can never force anything, and he's trying to blockade that D pawn.
Oh, very nice.
It's not gonna. I mean, even so, you can detonate on the B pawn or blockade. It doesn't matter. Like I think Black just cruises. Nice move.
17 seconds here. He's gonna try to flag him. He should try to. Were they back in the game here? Is that 2? Yeah, it's 2-1. So this would be a second game if he's able to clear. 15 seconds. Got to try to flag.
He can do it. He's got it.
That boy moving so fast. Universal Tsunami.
Where was this earlier?
Exactly. Where was this quickness from, bro? You were like, how is he moving so fast? There's no increment. I played 30-second chess.
Checks. He got.
And there's no how, bro. This boy is lightning fast. What is his bullet rating, boys and girls? Can we get an update?
And by the way, twice we see technique.
That boy was so fast.
He was fast, and there was a very key bullet technique there that stays true for this as well. When you're in these time scramble positions, you put your king diagonal one square between the knight and you, and it takes the knight 4 moves to check you again. So like if you're getting checked around by a knight in a time scramble, that's what you want to key in on where to put your king to escape checks, which he did twice in that sequence, which was very cool. Yeah, where was that speed earlier, though?
I don't know where that was. I got to get a bullet check on him, man. He was like,
yeah.
I mean, no increment too? Yeah, he was quick.
He was fast, yeah.
Well, this is officially the final game. All right, guys, place your bets. Who you got? Jake from State Farm or Universal Tsunami? This is it. There is going to be a winner after this game.
What are the bets going in here? What are people saying?
Let me scroll up.
Atomic chess makes my brain explode the most.
Oh, yes.
Us too, buddy. Yes. But we love it.
Yeah.
But we love it.
We're all the same here. All right, we're all.
Yep.
Yeah. Exactly. This is a hard format. You never got to a time scramble in Atomic yet? Oh, you just be instant moving. I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Draw incoming from Chuck Malt.
Wouldn't that be something? Sudden death. Yeah, I like this for Black. Again, I think that I think Jake should be very happy with the Black pieces here. You imagine that like E5 is more or less forced for White. So yeah, he goes E5, E6, sure. Space, Final Frontier.
Space.
Any Star Trek fans out there? I mean, I know you're a Star Wars guy, and so am I. They can't see the
Yeah.
books, but you and I are both
Yeah.
Star Wars guys.
That's true. I'm a Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
H3 hit the bishop. I can just take
Yeah.
that, bro. Oh, I guess I lose my knight too as well. They're not a fan of doing that. I've noticed that they
No.
threaten and then don't take much.
Don't do
at all.
anything.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot of a case of a lot of cases
BX,
of that.
though.
Don't do anything.
I like BX here. The queen side starts to become juicy. I would be happy to
Yeah, I
trade the B
see.
pawn for the C pawn.
We need 4 checks up in there too.
Yeah, bishop B5 as well. Like I like BX here. I think white does well. He's thinking.
No.
He's thinking.
He
TikTok,
is.
he's half the time now.
I mean, literally a whole minute on the clock here.
He
This
was-
is it. Jake from State Farm. But he's
He
so
starts
fast. I
with-
mean, yeah, I'm convinced this man could blitz. Bro, he was so
Yeah.
fast in that last
But-
game.
but
Like
you
he
can
looks
take
like he's
on-
not in time trouble.
How is this better than taking on this
C5,
isn't better than
any green
BX first. Like this was I don't think this was accurate. I don't think that was accurate.
Yeah, he went. I mean, he's also, time being a factor too makes you less accurate.
And they've been
because
playing
he is
all
about
day,
to go under a
so.
minute. Yes, that's true. He's been playing all day. Yeah.
And earlier I said that the stakes can't get higher. Well, they literally can't get higher now. Sudden death, grand final reset. Man, this has been a good one. Okay.
Wait a second.
White's just
I
gonna
got an
clean
extra
up.
piece. So wait, Universal Tsunami with
Eduardo.
no time. Is he gonna be the winner here, Chet?
He's down to
I'm up a
40
whole
seconds.
thing.
He's down to 40 seconds.
I'm
This
not
thing is
convinced after
far
that
from
last
over.
game. 40 seconds.
No, you saw.
No, the way he was moving, he didn't lose it.
He's
Bro,
got
he lost like
Nikes.
3 seconds.
Yeah, man's got his Nikes on today. He's booking
Souped
it.
up Nikes,
Looking
like,
good.
Somehow, the man was moving, but like it was just so quick. I don't believe in that. He's not gonna play. I don't believe it.
26 seconds though. Those bishops
Wait,
are
is he
nasty.
made it? Hold on.
These
Ooh, what's
bishops
going
are
on here?
nasty.
These bishops.
Oh,
Is he cooked? Wait,
Bishop
it might be a
F-
draw. Oh my
Nope.
goodness.
Hold on.
Wait, there's no
Bishop
draw.
F3?
Check.
Was
King
Bishop
H.
F3?
Oh, I was looking King H2, but King H2, Bishop G3, King G1, Bishop F2, and you go back and forth. But
Can you
you actually don't have to do that here. King F1. Wait, but
you
Bishop.
can't get the rook in.
Wait, is this a draw? Hold
No
on,
way.
bro. This should be
No
two
way.
check.
Chuck, are you a prophet?
Exactly, right? Hold on,
Chuck
bro.
Stradamus out there calling a draw.
Yo. Wait, he gets away. Oh, he runs
He's
his king
not-
out the board.
I think he's fine.
No, he can't. Because rook takes F6 will be lost if you go King G5.
I mean, this?
Wait,
The
I don't know
block,
what's
the block,
going
the
on.
block.
I have no idea now.
Ring around the
I don't know
rosy.
what
We watching
I have no
playground
idea
stuff.
now. Like, I literally don't know what's gonna happen at this point.
That's the funny.
It's a draw. Wait,
9,
it's not.
8, 7
He's gonna
seconds.
flag him. Oh, he pushed the. Wait, is he?
7 seconds. He's looking
was
for the
just-
draw button.
Me too. Like,
5 seconds.
what's gonna happen? Draw. There it is.
Draw, he gets the
Oh
Chuck.
my goodness, Chuck
from the
Moulton.
top row.
Chuck
calls it.
Moulton calls a freaking draw, and it
Chuck
happened. boys.
Moltradamus out there. My
Chuck
goodness.
Moltradamus.
My
himself.
gosh. And okay. So I've said twice that the stakes can't get higher. Somehow each time they have. Grand final reset, double overtime, sudden death, and we got ourselves this beautiful 30-second variation that you've seen in your streams.
That's
The
crazy.
knights. What's the quote? Knights on the rim are great. Something like that.
Yeah, that's exactly what it says in the books.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Wow, Chuck Moulton here. Yeah, exactly. What's the lotto numbers, Chuck? What other information you got out there, Chuck? What do you know that we don't?
Queen's Paw.
Obviously, a lot. And at the same time here, this will be a sudden death game. So whoever wins is declared the champion.
Exactly. And we've had a long, good day of chess here. A lot of wonderful atomic. These two are absolutely the most deserving of being here and walking away with first and second prize. Oh, it's almost a pity someone has to come in second when you've seen guys play this well.
That's true. I mean, first
But
draw
that's how it goes.
out of 100 draws ever in atomic chess.
Yeah.
This was number 100th in the history of atomic
You know,
chess.
It's like, what, 3% odds to end up with the draw? and we get one
Yeah.
in the final reset. It's beautiful.
Crazy. So far, so good. What's the piece count? 345, 345. Same amount of pieces. I kind of like I'm a fan of bishops, but generally speaking, I mean, especially these knights, especially in atomic chess, it's even crazier with knights. So, but I am a fan of the bishop pair, and I do feel like I can create some problems, but I can't really touch much because I do have to remember I explode as well.
Mm-hmm.
G4. I would explode my knight too, though. Don't like that. You gotta be careful.
I go, yeah, okay.
Getting bishops out, maybe rook to the file at some
Yeah,
point. Doesn't really
the
do
rooks will take
anything.
the
No,
half.
can't take anything.
Yeah. So interestingly, this might be where you consider sacking your knight to get activity with black, but because otherwise that b pawn could become a battering ram. I'm not really sure though. No, he
He
doesn't.
could actually.
Yeah. But now the rooks come in, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Whereas one, not really any real threats yet, but hey, activate the
Mhm.
rook.
But he's improving.
Exactly.
You know, it's atomic, right? It's very calm until things start exploding, and then a lot of things explode.
Explosive, right? Explosive games, explosive chess, atomic here. There it is.
Mhm.
Takes, got some trades.
Mm-hmm.
We could do the same. Oh, he wants another piece there. What a move that is. So we could take
Yeah,
it
you move your
this
bishop
way.
out of the
He
way.
does.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he
He
just takes
trades.
that one.
Okay.
Understandable. Maybe knight f2, kind of annoying because he does get away.
Yeah.
Should be e1.
I wonder if now's the time to play g5. Yeah, push, start
Wait.
expanding. But yeah, that pawn, you know, it's that b pawn as well as becomes that battering ram. This should just be very good for white. It's hard to imagine that. Yeah, the battering ram knocks down the last of the queenside pawns, and now black's work is cut out for him. I don't see how you can detonate around white's king, and I think that we are going to have a Jake State Farm win. So Liam, I think, is going to hold serve in the grand final reset here, is what I'm seeing.
Yes. This was actually, I mean, as we said before, 49-51, depending on who gets what or certain chances. That's how close it was with these two players. I mean, it
And
shows in the points, 2.5, 2.5.
yeah, and you know, like I thought Eduardo would have a slight edge because he would have the white pieces if we got to a overtime, and he did. But then we got the draw, and we're seeing that you give Liam the white pieces in double OT, and he's not gonna let that slip away. You know,
As
so
we see, he
amazing
is
job
proving
by
it.
him. If he holds this, because I do think he's just winning. If white
Yeah.
manages to finish this off and take this, I mean, holding serve with the black pieces with all the pressure on him after the grand final reset, like just amazing mental fortitude from him. And if he can hold this, a very well deserved first.
And no time to as well, 30 seconds. But he did it before. He
Right?
was lightning fast when he needed to
Yeah.
be. At that time, it was very low and risky, but
Mhm.
he was very quick. And we might have to see that speed again here if he's even able to find any good moves. Which okay, he makes one. Here we go, pawn pushing up.
Mhm.
Gotta move.
Got to watch out for those tensions too. We talked about this many times, but those pawns passing each other like trains in the night, they can't do anything. They're stuck on their tracks because if they either detonate, those rooks detonate by the king.
Here it is.
White's
Gotta
coming.
move.
Gotta move. 6 seconds
6
for black.
seconds.
It's also bad
No
on the board,
increment.
though. No increment, but it's also tough on the board. Clock aside.
Clock aside, I have the extra pawns as white. 4 seconds.
Yeah, there's many ways into the position too. I think we are just seconds away from crowning our atomic champion. I mean, I think Rook
Here we
G1
go. And hey,
lights
Jake
out.
from State Farm
Takes it.
is the
Well
champion.
deserved.
Well deserved. Going selling insurance to winning atomic chess championships. The man is an absolute class act there. That's amazing. Atomic chess championship. The winner is Liam Hereford, aka Jake State Farm. Great stuff here. Wow, went down to the grand final reset as it was almost scripted in a way, giving you guys more chess here at home. That was absolutely amazing there. Great. What do you have to say about what we just saw?
If State Farm reaches out to us to sponsor us, we might have to give this guy a cut. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
But this was awesome. This was you cannot ask for more. Double overtime in a grand final reset. Like, these championships never fail to deliver. These players entertaining us, playing all afternoon, all evening, night, wherever they are. This was a ton of fun.
Oh, this was amazing here to watch, of course, and learn too from these atomic guys. I didn't even know about the theory, of course, with the queen h5 over to b5 and then queen b6. Like, what is that? That is nonsense, boys and girls. Wow, that's crazy. But in the meantime here, we may have ourselves an interview with Jake from State Farm. So we're going to get set up for that, guys. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a few minutes with an interview. And we are back with the winner of the Atomic Chess Championship. He is an Atomic Chess champion, Liam Harford. How are you, man? Hey, congratulations on your win.
Thank you, man. I'm doing good. I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. We're excited to have you here. So, quick question from me, and then Greg, you can go next, and then we'll get some questions from chat too as well. Is how do you prepare for something like this? How much time did it take, games wise, and a little bit of theory too on that end? What's the preparation like for something like this?
Yeah, I just want to start by saying, all glory to God, and I thank the Lord for all that He's done for me. And it's not my work, but His. And so a lot of it is just that inner peace, with that. I have played, like 35,000 games of Atomic on Lead Chess. So I've played quite a bit of Atomic before. Prepped a bunch with my friends on there, specifically Never of Zero. He's helped me a bunch with my prep. So it's been a lot of work put into it.
A lot of reps. That's amazing. 35K games exactly, chat. I see that. Wow, that's crazy. 35,000 games. It's about the reps. It's about the reps, Greg.
Absolutely. You can study all the theory you want, but there's nothing like actually playing the games. So that's great to hear. I gotta ask, with the username you got, you in khakis?
No, not today. I got
No
some shorts on, but
okay, that's fair. Got to be comfy. Good stuff.
Where did this name come from? With Jake from State Farm. Of course, everyone knows Jake from State Farm, but your name is not Jake, so we would think it would be Carolina. So do you have the insurance with them, or like do you like khakis, or do you like the commercial? What is tell us about Jake from State Farm?
Yeah, I do. I do have insurance with them. Shout out State Farm. I actually I've got a bobblehead too. I don't have him with me right now. He's downstairs, but I have a bobblehead of Jake from State Farm. I don't know, man, though. That's my username for everything. I mean, any kind of online platform I'm on, I've always done Jake State Farm. I'm not really sure why.
That's amazing.
That's fair.
Oh man,
that's fair.
Greg, what you got?
Oh, I love to hear that, and just to talk a little more about you practicing with your friends, training for this event. When did you get into Atomic? Like, how long have you been playing it? 35,000 games. You gotta think you've been playing for years.
Yeah, it's been a few years. Yeah, I know. I mean, it was probably, I don't know, 5-6 years ago or so. Was when I really started playing a bunch, and I just loved it so much. Like, it wasn't ever like I got to study Atomic today. It was just like, I just started really loving it. And so even like over the board, like I'll just be like, hey, like to my friends, like come play Atomic with me. I don't know. I've just always loved it. So.
That's good. It's good that you when you have fun, when you love it, you can you start ranking up games like how you did. 35,000 games is not like I'm trying to just like study really hard with this. I love this game, in fact, and that's what you got there. And of course, congrats on your big win, $750. So now we have some chat questions here from, I'm going to go with Leangelo Ball here. What were you thinking when you were losing in the game 5 of the last match?
The game 5 of what?
They say, what were you thinking when you were losing in game 5 of the last match?
Yeah, Leangelo Ball, that dude sounds like a punk. No, I'm just kidding. That's my brother, actually. Yeah, I don't know. He definitely had me on the ropes there. I kind of got lucky to pull out with a draw. As the game was going on, I was like, yeah, I'm for sure going to lose this. But there's a lot of back and forth. There's mistakes between both of us. He played really well throughout. He's a tough competitor.
That's very good. And the last question here is, what do you think about the format? Is there anything, this is from Pepe Lu in chat, shout out to you. He says, what do you think about the format, and is there anything that you would change?
Yeah, I loved the format, especially the bracket. It was fun. The arenas were rough, the qualifier arenas, because it was just random pairings. So it was like you could go like 20 games in a row and not face another top player. So it was just who could play games the fastest and finish them. But today I love the format.
Very good, man. That's awesome. Well, hey, look, congratulations to you, Greg. Do you have anything else before we wrap up today?
I just got one more about the format. Do you like that there was no increment?
Yeah, so a big reason why I think I succeeded today was because I was generally ahead on the clock. And playing 35,000 games, the majority of those are 30-second games. So I just memorize a bunch of prep and just play it and have little tricks that I like to play. So I think for me personally, I'm a bit better without the increment, but some players would probably prefer it.
That's great to hear.
That is great to hear, and great to have you, of course, as the man, the myth, the legend here. He is now the atomic chess champion. Liam Herford, congratulations, man. You have a great one.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem. See ya. So, guys, let's take a look at this bracket as we are done here. We have a winner, as we see all the way through the bracket there up in the winner's bracket. It all started, of course, with all the players up there, and you see Liam Herford there getting 3-2 there against Benjamin, then making it through, and then beating Eduardo there, then making it through again, beating Johan, and then making it to the grand final. Who the losers bracket had to face Eduardo there. It was really, really strong. We had to face before in quarterfinals there, or sort of semifinals, the final, somewhere in there. But he faced him, and then at the end, he was able to beat him in a grand final reset. Of course, it was very atomic. It was very explosive, as we saw here, Greg, and he was able to win there. So that was amazing. I'm Greg. Great time today.
Couldn't ask for more.
What was your highlight of the day for you?
The draw. For me, the draw.
Yeah.
I just like Chuck Moulton coming in and just calling that that shot before, like,
That's true.
and just kind of laughing it off in the moment, and then getting closer and closer and being like, oh shoot.
It is a draw.
He's gonna actually hold serve here. He's gonna hold with the black
Chuck.
pieces, and yeah,
Yeah.
that was good stuff. So for me, definitely Chuck coming in and calling that out, and then seeing it happen. Maybe it was tongue in cheek for him, but that was really fun. What about you? What was your favorite part?
That was actually mine too as well. The draw, maybe tongue in Chuck there. In fact, as what it was when Chuck Moulton's just coming through with the molten hot lava of him finding out draw. Like, he said it and it happened. It's like, who is he? So at the same time here, it was amazing. All the chess was good here. Learned a lot, especially from the theory. It was very fun to watch, and being here with the chat and vibing and having a good time. So I think overall it was amazing. I think a great day, but more to come, guys. This is it from us, but we will be back tomorrow. Of course, there's another live stream coming up with the Collegiate Chess League, but that's it for us. So we'll see you guys on the next show, and have a great one, everyone.